powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next. Yeah,
I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you deny funny face. It's not my brother. Today you deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
I'm delighted to be supporting the GhanaWeb road safety campaign. Let's be brutally frank. We are losing too many of our compatriots. The last time I checked the statistics, at the end of April, 1,034 Ghanaians had lost their lives to road crashes. We cannot continue on this trajectory. More people have died on our roads than COVID has killed during this pandemic period. That's really striking. We cannot continue doing the same thing and yet expect different results. Expect that some way, somehow, we'll reverse this deadly trend. We need to end the fatalities. We need to end the road crashes. We all now must take greater responsibility. Make sure our cars are serviced, our brakes are serviced regularly. We must ensure that as car owners, we do not hand over our cars to drivers or to our children who have not been properly licensed. to use our vehicles. And let us just watch the speed and be extra cautious on our roads. Let's obey road traffic regulations and respect the signage on our roads. The carnage, the fatalities cannot continue. We must end the mass murder that is going on in our country due to road traffic accidents. It has to end, beginning from me, beginning from you. So let us do right and let us save lives.
Having a big dick comes with a whole different skill set necessary to make that big dick work. Because for all women's big talk, most of them can't take, dicks of a certain size. She can't even give you a proper arch. Like, instead of giving you the slide, she's giving you the abdomen bridge. What's that?
Guys.
People think when you have a dick or when you have a vagina, then you automatically know how to have sex. You don't.
It's not by force to make every lady come.
Hey, wait.
It's not by force.
As a guy, when you're getting sexual with a woman, no matter what, you will enjoy. No matter what, your cum is almost always assured.
At times you don't have to take off the panty to eat the pussy. You have to actually use your fingers to slide it,
Slide left, slide right.
I mean, there's nothing more painful than you do something sexual with someone, then later drama and everything on top, and then you even look back at the sex and it wasn't worth it. You do something with the guy, and the guy didn't make you come. He came under 2 minutes. He went to tell his friends, and this girl eat time, and I didn't know.
He deserved to be flogged.
You be with the girl, she's trying to give you head, and her teeth are all. Keep your teeth off my dick.
Hi guys, we are back again, Charlie. If today is your first time on my YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share with your friends. Guys, I miss you so much. And guys, I am currently at the domestic airport in Kumasi, and I am going to Accra, which is going to take about 45 minutes from Accra. I've already checked in. I only had to use my ID card, and I want you to see how the airport looks like. It's currently under construction, and so there's a lot of construction works around, and I'm sure maybe the next time you find yourself here, the drop-off will be much pretty, which looks like this. And I can see some other construction going on. This is how it looks now, and so you are coming with me. We are traveling. I mean, this is just a short trip. I came by road yesterday and I decided to go by flight, and so you are coming with me on this one. Let's go right into the video.
You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let it go.
When traveling from Accra to Kumasi, you have the options of going by road or by flight. When going by road, you go to the nearest bus stations. There are different brands of buses to opt for. Popular ones are VIP, STC, OA, the Ford buses. Let me know in the comment section which of them is your choice or which of them is your favorite. I used STC this time around and I paid 50 Ghana cedis. Don't forget to carry warm clothing because it gets very cold in the bus, especially at night. About 2 hours into the journey, they make a stop at a place called Lindador for a 15 minutes break. To use the washroom, it costs 1 cedi, which is less than $1. Also at Lindador, they have food, meat, drinks, tea, and anything you would want to refresh yourself with.
24 hours later.
The second option is by flight. Depending on the time you book your flight, the prices vary. The earlier you buy the tickets, the cheaper it is. The prices range from 200 Ghana cedi, which is about $35 and above. I think the airport in Kumasi is much similar to that of the one at Tamale. But looking at the fact that there's construction going on, it means it's going to be much prettier than that is after it's done. And so, I mean, fingers crossed. So let's go. So it's time to go. It's now 6:20. Just after 45 minutes, we are currently at our domestic airport. This is how it looks like. The place is really quiet today. This brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed documenting my entire experience. Let me know in the comment sections which of the options you would prefer and which of them is your favorite choice. Do you go by bus or you prefer to go by flight? Until next time on my next video, I love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Say we are currently at Takwashi Art and Craft Market, which is one of the oldest surviving art and craft markets in Ghana, in Greater Accra, on record. I would say that this market is over 30 years old, but somewhere 2009 we heard that the market land has been leased to one company called Abdes Integrated. So we quickly petitioned the then president, the late President Mills, and then he responded. He then ordered the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Inusa Fuseni, to look into the matter. Because one, this market falls under the Ministry of Tourism, and where we sell made in Ghana products, handicrafts to be specific. We are promoting tourism and upholding our heritage. This is one of the oldest surviving markets. We have a population of over 500 artisans and handicraft dealers here. This is the number of people that are surviving here. So I would say that the matter has been in court for over 9 years. Somewhere last year, the High Court passed judgment and it went against the market. So the market put in an appeal. However, our lawyer filed a stay of execution, and then the appeals court threw it. So on the 8th of this year, on the 8th of January this year, we were here, and then the court bailiffs, police, and then the plaintiff company came that they are coming to take possession of the land. So we pleaded with them. We told them that it's of a short notice because we've been here for over 30 years without any interference. However, we also consulted, or we confined the then or the current Honorable MP, Honorable Lydia Al-Hassan, who also advised us to re-look into the list of the land. So he led us to lands, and then we conducted an official search where we found out that Lands Commission has reserved 1.56 acres of the 7 acres of land here, still for the handicraft market. So we applied to Lands Commission for that 1.56 acres of land to be leased to us, which Land Commission has agreed and have written us a letter, one for the union and one to the district assembly. So as I am talking, we are still in the process of acquiring that 1.56 acres of land, where the district assembly also promised to develop that place where we'll be relocated. So when they came first for the demolition exercise, we told them that we know that all the land does not belong to them, so they should go. We are ready to move onto our 1.56 acres so that they can have their portion, but they did not agree. So they came back on the 8th with land guards, police, and then destroy our goods, destroy like 1/3 of the whole market, but then leaving about 1 acre of land. So we told them that we want to go to our 1.5, but they said already they have leveled that place and spent money, so we should remain where we are. So we mobilize ourselves, raise funds, our last resort, and then rearrange and reconstructed our shops. We constructed about 150 new shops within 3 months, and we have just started doing business. Then yesterday we were here, and then they came with police and then excavators and pulled down our newly built structures. My problem is they have been coming to the site since we started the new construction. They did not tell us to stop. They did not say go back to your land. They watch us, we finish everything and have just started business. This time they did not allow us even to take anything. They destroy all our goods. As we are here, we are stranded. We are calling on Ministry of Tourism because that is where we belong. I am presuming in the next 5 years, if government shouldn't take a look at the handicraft sector, we may be importing handicraft from Burkina Faso and other neighboring African countries to satisfy our tourist market. We are pleading with government to come to our aid because now, as I am talking to you, we are handicapped. We don't know how we are going to look after our children. Our livelihood for the past 30 years that we have created for ourselves have just been taken within a twinkle of an eye.
If you know it cannot work, you should have let us know so that we will know what to do. You understand? But you give us hope. The kids and the government and what all. They say this is what is happening, and this is the place that you people have given us for temporary, so that later we'll talk the thief and then on the place. You understand me? Just understandingly, no information, nothing. I was here 3 days today. The next day I come, everything is scattered, and I don't know why. You understand me? So I also plead to the government to see us and know what you can do to us, because now some of us now they don't know where to go. Even the what is called the new shop that we build, some of our people they didn't even started working safe. I started the work with this new shop almost 2 weeks now. The market hasn't go anything well with me before this thing. So in fact I was just confused. So we are asking the government to look for us because we all Ghanaians. You understand me? Once the leader did, then at least you have to do something so that we can solve some of our problems.
We did this report in response to the UN Convention on the Right of the Child and the Children's Act 560. Judge should also allow children to express their views on matters that concerns them and then the nation. And we all know that children also form a large part of the population of Ghana. For that matter, their views are also important. So we decided to do this with this concept in mind. We commissioned this to also make sure children have understanding of issues on values, attitudes, and some development that goes on in this country. And the objective for carrying out this research is to provide evidence on the values and the issues concerned to children and provide them with the needed opportunity to have their voice heard on key issues that affect them. Also, to engage or gauge and explore children's life experience on issues affecting them now and how that might be in the next 20 years. So we used a stratified random sampling system to collect data on 11,288 children across the country, so which means that we covered all the regions in Ghana. And the targeted group for this research is between 12 and 17. We know that children are responsible at the age of 12 because the law says that they can be held responsible for their actions. So we consider this age period because of the understanding that we want them to have and then the things that they can also say. So we targeted this group of people. So we also did a sampling allocation based on the population census in 2010, and then also the Statistical Service report also. So we did a segregation and even exceeded that by 113%. So to move into the main findings, we looked at the issue of national pride and identity. And clearly, over 90% of respondents, in this case children, are proud to be Ghanaians. And they listed the top 5 factors that makes them to believe in Ghana. And one is peace and stability, which is 48%, freedom of speech, 39.1%, systems of democracy, 31.8%, cultural diversity, 28.3%, and then the country's natural resources, 25.7%. So they form the basis for their belief in Ghana. And as to whether they're optimistic about the future of the country, this is what children are saying. Nearly 80% of the respondents say they are optimistic about the Ghana's future in the next 20 years. And then 20% see the country's future as bleak. So in this case, they are not certain as to whether the country has a future. The priority of children when given the chance to become a leader for a day, children are saying that the things that they will change has to do with job creation, which is 71%, fight corruption, 42%, improve quality education, 37%, encourage entrepreneurship, 31%, and improve infrastructure, 21%. Views on management. We asked children that if they are given 5,000 Ghana cedis today, what would they use it for? And this is what they are saying. Some said they will invest it in education, which is 51%, start a new business, 27%, and then do savings, 16%. And if you look at the start a new business, is most of them, about 80%, says that they want to do retailing, buying and selling. So that also, though you see that children want to invest in that area, the area of investment is also of a concern. So we looked at the economy also, and this, we base our indicators on the standard of living, what pertains at home every day. So a little over 60% of the respondents believe that country is on the right track, and 38% say it is heading in the wrong direction. And then 55% of the children are not satisfied with the standard of living. 45% believe so, but 55% say that they are not okay with it, based on what happens at home and then around them, especially when it comes to their eating arrangement, 3 square meals a day, and other things that when they ask their parent, they are unable to afford it, and the reasons that they give for not being able to afford it. So the top 5 things that Ghana needed to progress in the next 20 years from the child's point of view. First is reduce corruption, which is 66%, reduce poverty, 48%, creating new jobs, 46%, better living standard, 27%, and then limiting the powers of politicians, 25%. So based on this, we picked why children responded to issues on corruption. And these are some reasons that children give for if they are the things that Ghana will need in the next 20 years. And they are saying that overpricing of everyday goods and services, politicians and public officers intervening for perpetrators who commit offense against children, especially in child abuse cases, favoritism in scholarship disbursement and the processes of assessing scholarships in this country. Police officers, Madam is here, you'll be introduced, so I won't mention your name. Police officers accepting bribes from traffic violations when children are in public transportation or with their parent. Examination malpractices. When parents come back from political campaigns, they go with empty-handed, and when they are coming, they come with foodstuff, motorbikes, bicycles, flashlights. And then there's a blatant violation of traffic regulations and rules, especially when children are going to school. So these are things that children listed as the reasons why they see that there's a need for us to address issues of corruption. And then finding jobs in Ghana in the next 20 years, children, about 94% of the respondents say that they are worried about getting jobs in the next 2 decades. The social problems children are most concerned about today is the high unemployment, which is 66%, high level of poverty, 42%, corruption, 36%, high number of orphans and street children, 36%, and a poor education. These are things that children consider as social problems. So for top priorities of children, for government to increase spending, from children's perspective, they think that these are the areas that government should increase spending. The first is employment creation, which is 77%, investment in quality education, social protection, infrastructure, agricultural development, and then security. Opinion of children about religion. This is also one of the areas that are of importance to us because of the way children view religion. And for children, 81% of them believe that religion is very important. 73% of children say that religion is personal as opposed to the religion affiliation of their families or their culture. So their belief in religion is not because of what their parents believe in, but their personal faith. And they attributed these factors why they think that religion is personal. The close family ties and units, the belief of children that religion is a personal choice and faith and should not be based on the belief of their parent. And they say that differing views on religion from that of their parent are due to non-conformity of parents to actions and principles of their religion. So for example, domestic violence, so it means that when the pastor or the church member comes back from the church, they engage in domestic violence with their parent, or mother or father, or even in society. Corruption at workplaces, verbal abuses, as exhibited by their parent. And then what they also said is that the places dedicated for worship in churches and mosques are generally not attractive and not conducive for children. What children need in order to succeed in life in the next 20 years, children listed hard work as 25%, educational qualification 23%, individual talent 20%, individual efforts 12%, status, and then also the parent social standing as 10%, and religious beliefs as 5%, luck and chance as 4%. So we also went into the issue of how the current educational system would influence children in terms of finding jobs in the future. And over half of children say they are optimistic that they will get a job to do. But 47% of the children paint a bleak picture as to how the country's current educational system would help them find jobs in the next 20 years. So on the issue of how today's educational system is essential in the next 20 years in finding the desired job, children are divided. 50% say the current system will be useful in getting the desired job, whilst 50% conclude that it will not be useful. So the reason they cited has to do with the fact that children have been oriented by the current educational structure to believe that they are more likely to acquire jobs after completing a degree course as opposed to TVET programs and technological programs. Most children perceive acquisition of degree to securing a white-collar job and associate that to increasing the social status of the family and the pride attached to being a degree holder. Children are more inclined to study courses regarded as prestigious by their parents. So most of the STEM programs that children run are not because children are so much interested in it, but it's motivated by their parents. So though these programs are very important, it doesn't come from the perspective of the children, but they see that it is coming from the perspective of the parent. So if your mom is a doctor, your father is a doctor, or a lawyer, you are compelled to also be a lawyer as to whether you'd want to be a lawyer or not. Then children were asked about the skills requirement for future jobs. And they listed the following: the high level of training and skills, 54%, acquisition of technical and vocational skills, 35%, technological and innovative skills, 12%. And getting these findings, I was a bit surprised in terms of how technology is driving most of the things and how come it was the least of it. So it shows the extent to which we have exposed our children to technology and the need for us to see how best we can make it as a priority for the development of our children. So children's attitude towards agriculture as a career in the future, about 20% of the children would want to develop a career in agriculture, whilst 80% express uncertainty to go into agriculture. So we also decided to look at those who live around the coastal belt and then those who are also in the forest belt to see whether there would be a distinction because of what they see every day. But the research did not give us any concrete evidence as to whether the fact that they are within a certain belt, they would have interest in agriculture, but the picture wasn't so. Then another area that we'd also ask children about has to do with the intention of children to leave the country. 55% of the respondents say they wish to migrate to another country, whilst 11% would either stay in the country or leave. The majority of the respondents cited greener pastures, education, and better standard of living as reasons why they would leave the country when there is a chance. And if you look at the regional basis, you realize that most of them are coming from Brong-Ahafo region, Ashanti region, and then the northern region. So we believe strongly that this accounts for the reasons why there's a high level of migration from other areas and why people are trafficked to other areas or other countries. So on the basis of this, which we would give you the full report to see some of the things, this is just a summary. We're saying that these are issues that children are expressing, and there's a need for us to consider it in our planning, and then as a country, what we can do to put our children on the right track, because their thinking, I think that must be shaped by national policy and what we need to do to ensure that they believe in Ghana. So for national pride and identity, we are recommending that we have to teach patriotic songs in all educational institutions at all levels. Translate all school mottos, the national anthem, and the pledges into languages of the area in which the schools are situated. And the use of African print as uniforms, because we realized that that speaks a lot about children when we did the research. We were even surprised that they were raising some of these issues. But these are things that concern children. They think that when it is done, it can also build their spirit of nationalism. The school environment should be designed with patriotic symbols so that every single day children would have things to see about Ghana. And one of the things that he expressed has to do with the distortion in the history of Ghana. Children, we've never been consistent in telling the history of Ghana to children. And in most of the histories that they hear come from the cultural perspective. So there's some level of inconsistency in telling the history of Ghana to children and then how they should also understand it. So when it comes to education and employment, we are recommending that a high level of importance must be accorded to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, technical and vocational education courses in our schools, and we have to prioritize that, and if possible, give scholarship for our students to study in this area to any level that they want to get to. Children should therefore be educated on the importance of these areas of study, ensuring the functioning society so that they would understand things properly, because most of them are running these courses not because they understand what they are doing, but they feel that we are imposing it on them. So the free will for children to decide on what they want to do must be given. There are others that genuinely want to do science, but the educational system did not provide them the opportunity to do so because probably they don't have anyone to speak for them. And some of these things were very visible on the ground. In the area of agriculture, we realized that about 80% of the children are not interested in going into agriculture, and that is serious. And so for us, we think that we have to reorient the children to prioritize and target agriculture and make it attractive. And a conscious effort must be made to expose agricultural opportunities to children within the supply chain so that they do not see agriculture as only farming. There are a lot of opportunities in the agricultural sector, but all that we've succeeded in doing or telling our children is that agriculture is all about what? Farming. And we know that I was having a discussion with Professor Safo, and he was like, those days when you don't go to school, your parent will tell you that if you don't go to school, you go and weed, or you go to the farm. So from the word go, we've told our children that farming is not the option for you, but we know what farming is doing to us as a country. Then in the area of corruption and religion, one of the things that stood out clearly has to do with the social behavior of people and how children see it every day. So we are proposing that society must live a life of integrity and social consciousness, since children emulate society by what they see. Officials found to be corrupt must be prosecuted and punished to serve as a deterrent. This, we believe, that it will break that culture of impunity when officials commit offense. And children were so clear that in most cases, politicians, officials break traffic rules. I don't know why they are so concerned about that, but charity begins at home. So if you can break traffic rules, then the tendency of breaking any other rules from the perspective of children, it is very, very, very high. So on this note, this is what we did, and we're sharing it with you, and whatever it is that we all can do as a nation to get our children on the right track, we need to put ourselves together and champion that cause.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next. Yeah,
I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you're denying funny face. It's not my brother. Today you're denying funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Having a big dick comes with a whole different skill set necessary to make that big dick work. Because for all women's big talk, most of them can't take, dicks of a certain size. She can't even give you a proper arch. Like, instead of giving you the slide, she's giving you the abdomen braid. What's that?
Guys.
People think when you have a dick or when you have a vagina, then you automatically know how to have sex. You don't.
It's not by force to make every lady come.
Hey, wait.
It's not by force.
As a guy, when you're getting sexual with a woman, no matter what, you will enjoy. No matter what, your cum is almost always assured.
At times you don't have to take off the panty to eat the pussy. You have to actually use your fingers to slide it,
Slide left, slide right.
I mean, there's nothing more painful than you do something sexual with someone, then later drama and everything on top, and then you even look back at the sex and it wasn't worth it. You do something with the guy, and the guy didn't make you come. He came under 2 minutes. He went to tell his friends, and this girl eat time, and I didn't know. What did you do? You deal with the girl, she's trying to give you head, and her teeth are all. Keep your teeth off my dick.
Hello, my name is Kofi Otri Dakwa, and I'm very excited to be part of the GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Once you get behind your steer, you should know that you're not the only one that you're protecting. You're also protecting other people. So please conform to what you see on the road in terms of the speed limits, go by the speed limits. Another thing I'd like to say is that please, no matter how small it is in terms of alcohol, once you know you're going to drive, don't drink. So go ahead, Do the right thing, save a life.
Greater Accra Regional Minister, Mr. Henry Kwete, upon assumption of office some few months ago, announced his commitment to decongest the capital city. As part of efforts to realize this dream, the minister is moving traders at the Agboglosi market to Ajen Kotoku here in the GhanaWest municipality. GhanaWeb TV is today bringing you a tour of the new market and to also bring you up to speed with activities ahead of the relocation. We will be speaking to the MCU of GhanaWest Municipal Assembly, who is currently here on site supervising activities.
That is what you are seeing now. We are done about 65%, which by Thursday, the 100% will be done. So surely 1st July, they are coming. Yeah.
So the extension, there's nothing like an extension?
No, we don't have anything like extension. We don't have anything like extension. This is not about giving extension. We have given 2 months. Then after the 2 months, another 1 month. No, there's nothing like extension. But they rather, when they are coming, I'm not too sure all of them can come on the day, like 1st July. Some people have to go through somewhere before coming. So we don't have problem. We are preparing. And by 1st July, we'll finish and we'll come.
What can you tell us about the capacity?
The capacity of, it's more than 10,000. If we say 10,000, not the retailers. We are not adding the retailers, right? We have the bulk sellers. We are receiving them here. The retailers will still be in town and they will come and buy from here and go and sell. So we are sure getting about 10,000 from the first going.
I know this has been the issue of why they are coming here and all that. What is the difference between where they are and where they are coming now?
Where they are right now, the land belongs to an institution. And here was allocated for them. So this is their place and they have to come. That is the only difference. And that area is a downtown. And you know, the president said we should let Accra be clean. The regional minister said let Accra work. And if they are there, you know the place, right? Popularly called Sodom and Gomorrah. And they are always there. We are seeing this cubic. That is where they sleep. That is where they bath. That is where they do everything. And for you to maintain the Odo River, those things don't have to be there. So that is why we are moving them here. And we have provided everything is here. A police station, security-wise, is here. Health-wise, we have a hospital. A fire station is here. A school is here. So what else? Everything is here. So the difference between Agbogbosi and here, Agbogbosi doesn't have those facilities that we have here. There's a lot of facilities here that Agbogbosi doesn't have.
A lot of Ghanaians have expressed concern about this phenomenon where people are taken out and then within 2-3 months or some years down the line, they go back. How are we assured that this is not going to happen?
They cannot go back to the same place because that place will be used for another thing. So when you get there and there's a high-rise buildings, are you going to, demolish those buildings and go and see them back there? No. People are saying that some people will be here and other people will be there. No, it's not true. that I'm sure that place will be used for another thing. So nobody will have the chance to go back.
My final question, you spoke about decongesting the place and probably us getting the Odo back to life. What are the long-term benefits and effects of all this exercise?
The effects. You see, they're coming here fresh. They will be thinking, oh, people will not come from Accra to come and buy. That is not the case. Here are the bulk breakers. When the big trucks from the far coming to Accra, they said, just come here and offload your goods here. Then the small cars will come from Accra and buy it from here to the cities, right? So this is a long term. It's something that is, it can, more than 100 years. Because I don't see the reason why in the near future, maybe 2 years or 3 years, then now we allow the same cars to go back there. And nobody is getting them land within the city. If I say within the city, the downtown, you understand? I mean, which of the government is going to do that? We have done our best for us to. Now, if they are coming here, they are here. So you coming here, I don't see any government moving you here again to the downtown there. So it's a long-term, something that we are doing.
So what would be your message for the market women?
I wish them well. They are not market women. Okay. People say market women. They are not. They are market men. Yes. So I wish them good luck, and they are coming. This is a luxurious place. You can see, is here not more luxurious than Agbogblosi? Yes. So we wish them all well. We want to welcome them coming 1st July, and there will be a big derby here. So they are welcome.
We've been to the Ajen Kotoku New Market, Onio Market, to bring you up to speed with preparations ahead of the relocation. Now we are at Agbogblosi, where they will be moving from, to speak to the leadership and some onion traders here on how they are preparing ahead of the relocation.
We don't have any preparation with the deadline, and we knew the minister is going to force us by that date to vacate us here. Because what the minister is saying that he has finished what he's doing over there. We don't have problem moving there. We don't have that problem. But the timeline is too short, as you know, because we are dealing with women in this market. They came here and buy with that money, credit. We give it to them. They will send it to their various places and sell 1 week, 2 months, 3 months before they will bring us back our money. You understand? So if the minister, if our leaders come to him and he put onto them that by 7 weeks he's moving us, he's just forcing us to leave the business that we are doing, to lost the money that we are dealing with the women, and then to put us into something that we can't be in, because we will lost our money. Oh, that place is not okay. I and you were here. Is it not Timber Market? Are they not our neighbors? You understand? You people cover the incident that came about the armed robbers when they killed the policeman. You understand? They brought that robbery and shoot a policeman, took the bank money. Why me, civilian, that I'm buying without holding anything? So going over there, we are not safe, not because of our business, and again because of our life. We are not safe.
Security-wise, you think you are not safe?
You yourself, you know.
There is a police station over there.
That's what he said.
That is what I know. Very close to the site.
But the robberies, the rob that they did here, in that car, is there no policeman holding a gun? There's a policeman there holding a gun. But what has happened? They've killed a policeman, they brought light. You understand? So pointing that there is a police station there doesn't mean what we are doing over there, the armed robbers cannot come and attack us. We don't have any reaction because we can't fight government. We cannot fight government. But the government is forcing us to move and to spoil our business, which we will lose our money. That's what the government wants us to do. We are appealing for an extension for him to look at us, because he said we shouldn't near him anymore. He will not talk to us anymore. If the 1st July is in, they will move and force us to leave.
We are not ready to move within this 9 days left. But we are ready to go to the place, but not this 9 days. Understand? Not this 9 days left.
So what do you want?
Or one extension of the day.
How long?
At least a month or less than a month or less than a month, or more than a month.
Somebody says 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year, it's okay.
Then I guess you just want him to leave you.
No, he can't leave us because he's already promised that he will take us off. So he can't leave us.
Have you been to the new place?
I've been there once.
Do you like there?
I can't say I don't like there because man, I will go there by force.
Do you think there are problems with the place?
A lot.
Which are?
We are going to face a lot because moving here to there, it's like someone running, leaving his tail. Because the work we do here, or the business we do here, we then sell our goods in cash. We credit it to the women, and then a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks before they come with our money and give it to us. So moving from here to there, I think we'll not get our money back. It will go for us to get our money back. Oh, what can I do? Can I fight the government? I have no option.
Have you already secured a shop?
Shop? Me, I don't even know where they're even putting me. I only know that they are creating a place for at Ajin Kotoku. And I went and saw the place there. And there is no any shop. I don't even know where I'm going to place myself.
The allocation of shops and spots between your group and the government, how are you working together to make sure that everybody gets a place over there?
It's something we are here on it, isn't it? The government don't even call it, telling us that we should sit here, or to park our cars here, or to sell things here. He's telling us that he's grading the place. So unless they finish grading the place, before we look at the stand there, we should sit here and there, park our cars here, do what here. You understand?
The starting was every Kampala I call Makwala. From Makwala, I'm saying Dubabi Makwala Shi. No, I call Rest Cinema. Actually, Rest Cinema when you say Tampla. Na home old Parliament House Neki. The Omape Baby say Travis Omape at the Amaya. And then Dubabi Omo by Kaka say, okay, get a crown, but yeah, yape, who say, Bayamaya. I am a catcher as a Amy. Until I'm no by. So, may be a lady Karimo, a fair. It's never who are near Kakamo, Sasu is over the Maya and Kaya. And so I was not sure I hadn't take it. No, I just say, see a pedia, or what my what me a filly am I, and see a pet. And the about Dubabi, or my filama, and now my say, okay, Yampe, say, I don't know, but I could do no. Yampe, say, was sky and started filly, say, filia, scan I ever say, no, Mudba, scan my back. And I started a filly a crack up to say, why, okay, I to buy. Itu ba nso no aja enya program biawa
mubetina mfie muba ha nyina no mfie be sen ye
okay ya ba ha nya de am say ko 24 and 25 say no de nka enya say ska gele e wona gele ayadada wi Africa mu kwa wa mfie ne ntam a ade kinso abase anti honum no na asama ema enu se ne se data mo de ma se yentu a se kwa ebe asempa ke se scan ema so re ko hoso e ko na se yankuta sika adwuma be na de ya ana oni oso na se no so e dada we ko yigu ho a ade kiso a ebe se nso asipa fufuro nso wo ko so a e ma no ba ha no ka se e moto ha o mu wan o mba ba hu won na je nenu Omanyinya but empanyifo nya botre mai ama ye boaboa ya ayino they were outside aba they go na say up to onions they dada no asa time a omodo ma ya ba ye yi aba say new onions dada no sana stuff for the new onions no how many 4 to 5 months
ba ya di jonto akọ say panacho yan ka say entu ebetu ya say o ma ye mra a do so kakra na mfa ya hobo na enko on so agima won so won hwe so na won ye agima na agima na nyefe this time no rainy season eno je no so adan dada o so wo hu mo ba mo titua ya da to ho ba ko hwe we ayem normal na pack no dodo no o ta se ba dan se ya o to no 5 million ko dan se aboton 2 million ba se dan se ya de ko ho na beto obi anto until this time no de ya panacho ma ye mere kakra na mfa ya hobo na mfa nko yanka se nko
na e wono makohwe ho
oho de ke yeni mu bi na kohwe ho
more problem bi on.
Problem ho pa. Asa de na kwara tipa na age mo ho no ba kwa tim ho. E na e ka no kwara ni e mo du chete tipa. Ba bia wo age mo sisi awo. Tipa bi atim e mo ma force ayi no. Oho yesu ba bia wo feel ni yesu. E na ye ka bank asem sikasem a edi adwa ya edi sikasem na adwuma na ye. Wa utimi hu se Jamestown. E kronkura amros na atema robo police ni na ye ni. Ah mba mu kure sikari ba jumho. Ye na ya ji sikari kofi. Ye bende. O si police for ho. Fine. O si police ya hu makwa police station no. Be emwa it's not enough.
Ba ku bi abanso asese Ghana obi e ka bi. Minister betre mu kakra. Oso wate se muhu bi nkofo ni bi e de na akwa eduro e de na ekwa eduro so e de na akwa eduro so eno aseme na waka fa
yasi yamfan kasa me ka mi wadru a nka yamba kasa so no wasem pra yasi yamfan kadru de ye woni enyame Allah nko aye wo Allah asa ye ko bompa ya bompa ye anu ye ni bibia aye wanti me amma obi nko ba betina je nko ha me ngindi se obi a betina je nko me ngindi na ye nyina ya yasi be de ni sa de won de won yin firi na jum kura.
So you heard from the chairman himself. They have issues with the place and they are hoping the government will resolve it. And they are also having issues with the time limit. Less than 9 days. 9 days or less is too short for them. They are praying for an extension. We are still following this issue and we'll bring you up to speed with any developments. Reporting from Agbobloshi in Accra, George AEC.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
I'm delighted to be supporting the GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Let's be brutally frank. We are losing too many of our compatriots. The last time I checked the statistics, at the end of April, 1,034 Ghanaians had lost their lives to road crashes. We cannot continue on this trajectory. More people have died on our roads than COVID has killed during this pandemic period. That's really striking. We cannot continue doing the same thing and yet expect different results. Expect that some way, somehow, we'll reverse this deadly trend. We need to end the fatalities. We need to end the road crashes. We all now must take greater responsibility. Make sure our cars are serviced, our brakes are serviced regularly. We must ensure that as car owners, we do not hand over our cars to drivers or to our children who have not been properly licensed to use our vehicles. And let us just watch the speed and be extra cautious on our roads. Let's obey road traffic regulations and respect the signage on our roads. The carnage, the fatalities cannot continue. We must end the mass murder that is going on in our country due to road traffic accidents. It has to end, beginning from me, beginning from you. So let us do right and let us save lives.
Having a big dick comes with a whole different skill set necessary to make that big dick work, because for all women's big talk, most of them can't take, dicks of a certain size. She can't even give you a proper arch. Like, instead of giving you the slide, she's giving you the abdomen bridge. Like, what's that?
Guys.
People think when you have a dick or when you have a vagina, then you automatically know how to have sex. You don't.
It's not by force to make every lady come.
Hey, wait.
It's not by force.
As a guy, when you're getting sexual with a woman, no matter what, you will enjoy. No matter what, your cum is almost always assured.
At times, you don't have to take off the panty to eat the pussy. You have to actually use your fingers to slide it,
Slide left, slide right.
I mean, there's nothing more painful than you do something sexual with someone, then later drama and everything on top, and then you even look back at the sex and it wasn't worth it. You do something with the guy, and the guy didn't make you come. He came under 2 minutes. He went to tell his friends, and this girl eat time, and I didn't.
He deserves
what did
to
you
be
do?
blocked.
You be with a girl. She's trying to give you head, and her teeth are all. Keep your teeth off my dick.
Have you ever wondered why certain vehicles are stopped or accosted by officials of the MTTD as well as DVLA, or why you can't drive certain vehicles with some types of licenses? Today on GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign Series, we are here with the compliance team of the Drivers and Vehicular Licensing Authority, DVLA, and some officials from MTTD for their compliance checks here at the Audumu Stretch, not very far away from the Intercity SCC Driving School yard. Today we speak to the Deputy Director for Testing and Training, Mr. Joseph Obosu. He's going to be explaining to us what exactly they're going to be doing here. What you see behind me is a van that has been stopped, and he's going to explain to me why this van has been stopped and why the driver is being interrogated and so on. Mr. Obosu, thanks for joining us. Kindly assist me to understand why this van here has been stopped by a team.
This car was stopped. Okay. So because it came as a truck, and they put a container on it. And
when you say truck, how do you mean, like just the head and then the carrier?
What I mean is, it came as a truck without the cargo, this van. Okay. So they went ahead to construct it. But per the law require, before you do any convention, you have to inform us.
Okay.
And they did not inform us.
Okay.
They went ahead to do the convention. So we are here to check whether once they have done it, have they regularized their convention with us? Okay. So we ask them of their papers to see if they have come to the office to do the convention. Okay. And if not, then we lay hands on it and we ask them to do the right thing.
Okay, so where they haven't documented the car as one which has been converted, what happens to the vehicle? Does it get impounded? What was the offense and the punitive measures?
So, as we came here, we are here also to educate. Okay. It's like the majority of the people doesn't know that when they convert their truck to van or cargo, they have to come to our stations to regularize their stay. Then how do you call it? To regularize their convention. Okay. So now, once he has been apprehended and he's not having, we will ask him, we will take some certain document from him. Then we ask him that he should bring the car papers to the office. When it comes and it's not, then we help him to do the convention.
Okay. I see another truck behind me. Is this a default truck, or this is another example of
it's another example.
Okay.
You see, it came as a pickup. It's
Okay.
a truck.
Okay.
So they have constructed cargo on it. You see the van on it.
Okay.
And looking to the distance, you see it's the abnormalities of the van. You see the height.
Yeah.
Even it is an offense. Are you getting the point?
The height of the vehicle is not. I'm seeing several of them. Another vehicle has been stopped here.
Somehow. But this one is higher than.
What is the you're talking about height? What is the minimum required height that?
It shouldn't go more than 2 feet or 3 feet, depending on the size of the car.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the car, because as it moves along, there are other forces that is acting on the car.
Okay.
And if it is not well balanced, then it means that when it is negotiating a curve, the whole thing will come. It shouldn't go too high as you are seeing it.
So what happens now? With what you can see, how many inches can you estimate this to be? And what happens now that...
As you are here, I will show you typical examples of the foreign one. Typical examples of the foreign one.
Okay.
You see, compare this and this. Have you seen the difference?
This is higher. This head, the tires and everything seems higher than this. But this, the height is still
more than this. You see the point? So when it happens like this, then it's very dangerous to drive this type of car on the road, especially when it carries heavy load. At least it shouldn't go too much.
With this particular type of car?
It shouldn't go too much.
Sure. So that's Mr. Joseph Obosu explaining the types of cars that need to be on the road as far as conversion is concerned. You need some documents if you want to drive certain vehicles that are going to be carrying loads. Kindly tell us, you stopped this driver because he was using a vehicle which was not at default or factory settings, for want of a better word. It wasn't a truck like this.
Yeah.
But tell me more about exactly what happened here.
Yeah. When we stopped him, I asked him whether they came to DVLA to do what we call physical conversion before they are using the truck.
Okay.
And then the owner told me that they bought a truck since 2012. And then he doesn't know anything about it.
Okay.
But he will come to DVLA on Monday to rectify the problem.
Okay.
So normally we take their roadworthy sticker to keep it there. We'll give them a note certifying that, making them to come on Monday to do the correct thing.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Taking their roadworthy sticker will compel them to come.
Exactly,
to the
it will compel them to come and do the right thing.
Okay. So in the events that they do not come, you rightly indicated that it is an offense.
Yeah.
What are the punitive measures of punishment that go
Yeah,
with
normally if they don't come, we can block your roadworthy. We will block it at source. That means you cannot do the roadworthy anywhere. And then still, we give your number to the police patrol team. They will definitely arrest you and bring you back. And then as for that one, when they arrest you, we don't compromise. We prosecute you. We take you to court for prosecution.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you go through their vehicle documents, you get to know that they have not converted it or notified the dealer about the conversion done. So when that is done, the price us of revenue and any other thing. So let's say the vehicle is missing. So they have to issue a statement to us to take it out there. So we are going to say a pickup truck is missing or the pickup is missing. Meanwhile, it's a van now. So yeah, that's why we always need them to notify us. So when you go to the LI sub-regulation 2180, it states clearly that when a vehicle has been converted, you should notify the licensing authority about it and pay the set fee for that. So basically that's the enforcement we are doing when it comes to conversion.
Why do people often evade this? Is it that the fee is too high? What's the thing behind it.
No. They always use their ignorance. I never know about it. Yes. So but I keep telling them, anytime you are into a transport business, you should know everything that entails in transport. Okay. So it's no excuse for you to say, I never knew I had to do a conversion about it. So it's not about the fee, it's about the ignorance. Okay. So anytime we get a chance to educate them, we do it. When you go to our social media platforms, you always push those agenda. When you convert your vehicle, when you want to convert your vehicle, come to the licensing authority. When you do anything on the vehicle, even changing the color of the vehicle, you should alert us.
If you respray your car, you need to alert
Yes, because when you go through your VRC booklet, that's the roadworthy we give you, we state the color of the vehicle. So we just want to be on the same page with you on anything you do. So we put it on our records. So conversion, change of color, change of use, anything from private to commercial. Now you don't want to drive a private car anymore, you want to make it a commercial, you have to alert us. So anything on the vehicle should be known.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know about the spraying bit.
Yes. So do you have the images of the vehicle? So he has sent images of the vehicle because we don't know. So you can see from here, physical conversion from a pickup to a container has been done, and the said fee has been paid.
Okay.
So when you don't have the documents, you can equally show us images of it.
Okay.
We can allow him to go.
Oh,
so
okay. He's clear.
He's clear.
Okay. So typically what you are seeing here is Mr. Obosu doing a typical compliance check. He's asked the driver to check out the various functions of the vehicle to make sure that they are functioning. Now from what I saw, he directed the driver to show the trafficator to the left, and I don't see any action happening. But Mr. Obosu is going to tell us more. What exactly is going on? I see you are doing your typical compliance check.
Yeah. You see, we asked him to press the brake so that we see if it is functioning.
Yes.
The lights are not functioning. Both the brake and that of the trafficator light, they are not functioning. The front trafficator light lens, they are all not functioning. And look, a driver.
The car is a rated car.
So these are some of the things.
The handbrake is not working. Even when you get down, you can see the car wanted to even move forward. Everything on the car is not working.
So is that a classic example of a car which is not roadworthy?
Yes, since the lighting system are not working, you cannot tell the other road users your intention.
Okay.
Because these are the communicating gadgets on the car which communicates. So if the trafficator light is not working, it means that you can't communicate well, and eventually it will end up in accidents. If a car is following you and you are braking, how would you know that you are braking whilst the braking light is not working? You see the pointer. So it is in actual fact, it is not roadworthy. It shouldn't come on the road at all.
I wonder how we get the roadworthy sticker on the car.
Yes, about that. How do cars like that pass the roadworthy? Mr. Obosu, how do cars like that pass the roadworthy test?
The point is we have a lot of fake roadworthiness in the system.
So do you run it to see if his roadworthy was fake or is it
because of the special we have the gadget there. But we have problem with our lighting system, so we cannot use them today.
Okay.
But we have gadgets which we use to check the fakeness of the roadworthy.
Okay. So typically, what happens to him and his vehicle now? Because it's loaded, it's a passenger vehicle.
So by law require you have to apprehend the car.
Okay.
Then we send him to the court.
Papa driver, why are you driving without?
Why not touch him? Maybe why not touch? Why not touch him?
The electrical problem.
And to be fair, me call shop on a make on.
Now, you don't say what's our share? It's slippers.
On it, I don't say number.
It's we share shoe and that.
Me dava me shame you go. You know na dava. Dava me dava me you we ni go. It can't say shame o. Me say me dava me go. Me see one say me pejai.
So you say oh driver, say we share.
Ma what the
what are you going to do? Go back.
Oh, my young will
what's going to happen to him?
No, we'll pardon him.
Okay.
For him to go and tell his car owner that next time when we see him on the road, we will not pardon him again. We will send him to court. So we will pardon him for today because of the passengers. We will pardon him to go.
So he gets a free pass today, despite the infractions that he has incurred. So basically, it's at the discretion of the police officer. Sergeant Bimpon says he made the driver go because the passengers in the car. And it's just this once that he's going to let him go. But subsequently, he's going to be penalized. Is there a law which says that drivers need to paste their stickers on the car?
Yes. It is.
So it's compulsory?
Yes, it is in the airline. It is in the airline.
Can you be penalized because you did not stick your...
you can be penalized for failing to display your normal your roadworthy and insurance at your right hands of your vehicle. You can be penalized. You can't see anybody in. By law here, you don't do tinted here unless the vehicles are from home. This one is artificial. Have you seen it? Please, you roll up small. Let me see something. Please roll up. Wait. Have you seen? I can remove it now.
Okay.
See it. You don't know what is in mind, by not allowing anybody to see him in the car.
The law says
it
no.
should be very visible in the car.
Everybody to know who is in the car. We don't know who is in the car.
Maybe you see, nowadays there's kidnappers and whatever. You can't see them.
Okay. And then the roadway.
And the roadway.
When we give it to you, you should fix it at the right side of the. But when you look at so many cars now, they don't fix it. The person will tell you it's an MP, is this. But the law says as soon as we give you the roadworthy sticker, you are supposed to fix it there. It is not for just a show. And then this one, the police can even take you to court for prosecution. These are so many things that people don't know that the law specify that we are supposed to do. That is it. So we are going to fix it for you, just a caution. So that when it expires and it goes in for another one, we'll fix it. Now, Mr. People normally when we arrest such people, we remove it. We remove it for them to know that it is not supposed to be there. The tint, it's not supposed to be there.
So at what point are you allowed to use tinted windows?
Normally the tinters are only meant for the back screen. Yeah, maybe for security reasons. Maybe the person is an MP, doesn't want anybody to see. But the rear front, you are not supposed. Yeah, you are not supposed to use it. And then even it even saves you to be able to look through your your side mirror to see what is happening behind you. But when you tint it, it's always blur. You can't see what is behind you clearly. And that's why they are supposed to remove it. But normally after registration, they take the car out and then the Guru boys does it for them. So it's not supposed to be there.
Please, I'm removing the tinted. not express, no. It's not allowed. It's not allowed for you to search for space.
Because when you see the law very carefully, it says
not the sign, no, don't say it's a sign.
The right side.
But he's citing the sun being.
I think 14, 1 or 7. 7, yeah. The other side.
What's the issue here? We saw that
yes, there's a sticker on the plate. Yes, which is not prescribed by law.
Okay.
It is not prescribed by law to use the sticker. You understand?
But what does it signify to begin with?
We don't know, because they only do that to suit their own interest. You understand? DVLA give the prescribed plate for you to use. So once you start, you decide to tamper with the standards of the plate, then it means it has become illegal. You understand? Yeah. So this is a prescribed plate from DVLA, but what the stickers they have put on it?
Which is the red?
The red stickers. When we peel off this, you see that the Ghana flag, it should be somewhere here, on the prescribed plate. And then this one too is another. This one. Yes, so once this is done, the press statement DVLA released on the 31st of last month states categorically about this. You understand? So this is a total violation of the law. It's against the rules of the law.
So what's the penalty for someone who's using the number plate?
Yes, most of these are not just ordinary stickers. Most of them use paint. So it will be hard for us to remove it, but once we get them on the road like this, most of them don't know the consequences of what they have done. Yeah, so we sometimes have to educate them. And then sometimes when there's a need, we peel the stickers off. Yes, to get the prescribed plate for them.
So in this case, are you going to peel it off or are you going to let him go?
Yes, so we're going to try to see if we can be able to peel it off. Okay. Otherwise, then we have to get a plate. We give him a note, he go and do it himself and then report to the DVLA. Or we get any item belonging to the driver, either his license or any item belonging to the car, the roadworthy or the insurance sticker, then we give him a prohibitory note with regards to that. Then after doing it, they report to DVLA and then we release whichever item we have in our possession to them.
Why do you have a number plate with a red sticker? What does it mean? So what does it mean, the red sticker?
I don't know. We are doing and we are also doing.
By the car owner?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, the car owner. And so you at least have a fair idea of what happens
I don't know.
As far as your registration is concerned.
I don't know. I'm not the one who registered the car.
You're not the one who registered the car.
So if you said it's not the right thing, the best thing for me to do is I just
rectify it.
Yes, remove it and do the right thing.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say.
Sure. And then it has been screwed in?
Yeah. No, the car, you see, I had that script.
Okay.
So this is just a screw. I wanted to go and do a new normal plate.
When we stopped him, he said he know.
I know.
He know it's a violation of the
So
law.
I wanted to go and change. Then I'm going to change it.
You understand?
I'm a security man, so that's why I don't want to talk to him. Because I know the right thing.
Sure.
I'm not the one who registered the car, so I can't say anything. That's why I don't want to say anything. You see? Boss, don't worry yourself. I'll change the normal plate. So don't worry.
Like this one is from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a Nigerian plate. So when we get somebody with a Nigerian plate, this is the permit for the car.
Okay.
Yes, so in most cases, they possess license from Nigeria. He can be a Nigerian. He can have possession of a Nigerian license, but then once he's traveling to Ghana, he should have a permit to drive in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes, different from the license he has from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, so we inspect the car permit. This is the car permit, and then the driver's permit too as well. Once everything is valid, then we have no reason for keeping them.
Okay.
We just allow them to drive on.
What happens where the person possesses an international license but hasn't got the paperwork for the car?
There's a difference between international license and the foreign license.
Okay.
Are you talking about foreign license or international license?
First of all,
the international license is what we call the international permit.
Okay.
Yes, the duration sometimes is 1 year.
Okay.
Yes, that is for the permit. That's the international license. Yes, and then we also have a foreign license. Then the foreign license, a driver is not mandated to use a foreign license to drive in Ghana, unless, of course, he do a foreign license conversion. He converts it to a Ghanaian license, or he has a permit from whichever country he's coming from to drive in Ghana within the time period that he's supposed to stay. Within the time stay in Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's no such license that permits someone to drive, someone from a different country to drive. There's no a generic license at that.
Yes. When you are in, let's take US for instance. If you are a citizen of USA, whether you are a Ghanaian, whether you were born there, you are traveling to Ghana, you have a US license, you need international driver's permit, international driver's license from US to come and drive in Ghana. But with the license you possess there, it is not mandated by law to use it to drive in Ghana. Yeah, it's a foreign license. And that is where there is the need for you to do foreign license conversion to get a Ghanaian license, or you get the permit which will give you the permission to drive in Ghana for your stay until you are gone. And in most cases, the duration is only 1 year, 12 months period. And after, when you exceed the 12 months period, it means you have to renew the permit, the international license. You have to renew it again. Yes. So, but as for the foreign license, no, you can't drive with foreign license in Ghana.
All right, sure.
Yes.
You see, this car has been stopped.
Yeah.
You realize that he's using a white plate, which is for private. White plate, which is for private. He registered it for a private use.
Okay.
But they are using it for commercial purposes.
How can you tell if they're using for commercial purposes? It could be that the private owner has bought all these.
No, you see, they register it on a private basis and they use it for commercial.
Okay.
Okay. If it is his own enterprise car using for his or her own business, that one, there is no problem.
Okay.
The majority that are on road, which we are being confronted, are that they are using the white plate for commercial purposes, which is depriving the government of the revenue that it's supposed to get.
Oh, okay.
Because when you do the convention, it attracts some fee.
Okay.
So once he's using it for commercial purposes,
then
we have to ask him to do the right thing, regularize papers with us. Because on our file, it is private, but you're using it for a commercial purpose.
Oh, okay. Now that you mentioned it, kindly take us through the various types of registration plates and their colors. We've seen white, we've seen yellow, there's green, I think I've seen red and blue. Take us through the various registration plates and what they mean.
You see with the white.
There's another white.
It's for private use.
Okay.
When you see the red, the yellow, it is for commercial purposes.
Okay.
When you see the red, it's also for diplomatic cars. Some of the plates are for provisional license. The yellow, the green one for government cars. The L plate, you see the white with the red in it. We have the provisional license, which is also colored in the white and P, the P with the green color. So that is the various form of. So we have the white, the green, the red, and the yellow.
Now, one thing I also want to draw attention to, you see where the flag is. I've seen different colors here. I've seen a number of pictures on social media where it is red. What's that all about?
That is, that is another, our being here is one of the purposes for which we are here, also to announce to the public that it is an offense.
What is an offense?
It tampers with the whole thing.
Okay.
You see the point now? That is not what we handed over to them.
So the right plates, what is it supposed to look at? If it's a private or commercial?
It must be a plate, an embossed plate. With this, the Ghana, the flag here, and this in here.
Okay.
And that is what it has been prescribed in the law.
Okay.
So anything contrary to what we have given them is an offense.
Oh, okay. Okay. And when, as far as the registration plate is concerned, we have GW, we have GR, we have V. What do these letters mean?
Oh, the preface.
Yes.
It's this one. They give it according to the regions.
Okay.
The region. So you realize that Accra, this could be Greater Accra West, East. Okay. You see the point? Okay. So when you go to Ashanti, AS, Ashanti, Cape Coast, CR. So according to the region where you register it.
Or the district.
The district. That will give you the preface that goes with the region or the district. He's using it for commercial purposes. It has been registered as a private car. And someone can come
my wife in a tongue. The store cast my wife in a tongue. We distribute to my area a month for. So it didn't mean any of them to be a stop in the South Rana.
What more people now they are about right? What is it? Uber officer for Uber person banning. Hi. About my control ammo paper. About my police.
I want a bit of clarity on what you mean by using for commercial purposes, because the man was saying that he's been using it.
You see, most of the time when you see them, oh, I'm using it for my own business. But when you dig into it, they are using it for their own.
But when you say for commercial purposes, do you mean maybe you are
they make money out
hiring
of it.
The car or renting the car?
They make money out of it.
With the car?
If you are using it for your own business, there is no problem. But where you go and park it somewhere, you take money out of it, then it means that you are using it for commercial purposes.
Okay.
And for that matter, you have to even change the plate.
So what if, let's say you own a shop, probably a provision shop, and then you buy yourself one of these vehicles, and then you buy your stuff.
You are using it for your own business enterprise. So
that's not commercial.
That is not commercial. For your own business, that is not commercial.
Sure.
So when it's scaling white freight, we don't have any problem with it. But when it is carrying white freight and you are using it for commercial, taking money, hiring for people and taking money from them, then it means that it is a commercial the freight. And you know, commercial cars comes to us 2 times in a year. So when you make it private, it means that you will only come once in a year. So you are depriving the government from getting.
All right. Now that you mentioned that, I want us to clarify something here. So with these ride-hailing systems, you know, a lot of them are from personal vehicles, right? So let's say I own a car, but I want to use it for a ride-hailing system, but I'll still be using the car as mine. Maybe I'll go to work, and after work, I'll use it for the ride-hailing system. Is that commercial or still
It's
personal?
a commercial.
So when I want to do that, it means I have to change the number plate as well?
Yes, you have to change the number plate as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right,
you have
sure.
to change the number plate because you are using it for commercial purposes. Even though you have registered it in your destination, then it must solely be used on your business activities. But anything that brings in money with a car, are you getting a point? Okay. You are using it for commercial.
Tell me, I see that you previously stopped a car with the registration DV.
Yeah.
And now you stopped one with DP. What's the difference?
The DV is from the garage. That's from garage, and the DP from the port to garage. When you bring it to the garage, you have to change it and paste the DV plate over it.
So it comes in as DP and
yes,
then change it to DV.
You change it to DV.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. I see.
So what you was
this one too, I think it has expired.
Yeah. So what you were trying to tell is that DP is from the port, and
direct from port.
Direct from port, and it's supposed to last for only 2 weeks.
Okay. So how do you know that it has lasted? Is it lapsed more than 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Now, when you look at it critically,
okay.
Now the new DP that is coming out is DP, the number, then F. Okay. And this one, it has no alphabet. So the alphabet one, it begins from the year. That the ones without an alphabet, when you look at the DPs without an alphabet, it begins from the year. Then we start before A, B, C. Now we are at F. So it means this thing had expired almost about 4 months ago. Okay. So he's not supposed to use the DP.
Okay.
He's supposed to come in to purchase maybe the DV plate that he can use for the whole year.
What happens when something like this happens? I mean, what are the punitive measures for this? I mean, he's using the plate that has expired.
We can hand him over to the police for prosecution.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Bempo, you give us more explanation into this. If I accosted someone with DP plates,
once it has expired, then police will take over, and then we will take him to the office and we will process him for court. You understand?
So it's an offense, but
yes, it's an offense.
And what's the punitive measure of punishment involved there?
What is the?
What's the punishment for such an offense?
When you go to court, the judge will tell him the punishment on it.
But is there a range? Is there a range?
That one I can't tell. The range is I can't tell, but it depends on the judge. Yeah.
So we realize that the DV plates, a lot of the times the security personnel after 6 p.m. Why is that?
Around 6 p.m. going, they use it for robbery.
Which is the DV plate?
Yes.
Okay.
And they use it for adverse activities.
Okay.
That's why they've been apprehended.
So it's not that it is illegal to drive
for the LI, it is not written there that after 6 o'clock don't use the DV brace.
Okay.
But per their experience, they realize that most of the robbery cases with the DV plate, they use it for robbery. After they just
it's
go
more
and
rampant.
yes, it's more rampant. After they just remove it.
So it's just a precautionary measure.
It's a precautionary measure that they put in place.
Okay. Okay. So it means once they stop you and then you clear their checks, you are free to go. It's not like you can't drive.
Yes.
So we've learned quite a number of things today from the compliance team at the DVLA and officials from the MTTD. But Mr. Joseph Obosu is going to give us his final words and basically advise the public. Mr. Obosu, what are your last words?
After this last words after this exercise is that the compliance and enforcement exercise is ongoing, and we are there to check those people with the infractions and that of the defects, and those who does not comply to the road traffic regulations. So we are actually trying to warn the public, try to educate them to know that before they use their car on the road, they must make sure that the car is roadworthy. They must have a valid license. They must also have a valid roadworthy certificates. There are some who are operating with fake license, fake drivers, roadworthiness and others. And when we apprehend them, we will send them to court. So we are just warning the general public. Also, if they want to obtain license, they should come to the license office to come and obtain their license. If anything that they don't understand, especially with the convention of the vehicle from the truck to the van, they should come and we give them the specification for them to be able to enable them to do the convention. So we are trying to educate them, asking them to desist from anything that will cause them to be arrested.
Okay. Right. So that was the Deputy Director at the Driver Training, Testing and Licensing at DVLA, Mr. Joseph Obosu, basically telling us what the compliance exercise today has been. We have been doing this at the Abu Dome around the Intercity SCC Driving School yard. 2 take-homes. Whenever you import a vehicle for use, do that with a DVLA, especially when you have to convert from a pickup to a truck. And also, if you need or have to change the color of your vehicle, you should also keep the DVLA in the know to make things easier in the event where your car cannot be identified or has been stolen. My name is Lord Harris Idwasare. Do join us for our subsequent educational series with Road Safety Campaign.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
another edition of Talkatainment here on GhanaWeb TV. So on this episode, we're going dancing. Yeah, we're talking Kizomba in Ghana. And when we say Kizomba, we cannot do without the king and queen, the known faces of Kizomba here in Ghana. My name is Paulina Deda Opoku, and I'll be sitting in for your regular host, Elsie Lama. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll begin. You're welcome back from that quick break. I am Paulina Deda Opoku. As I told you earlier, today we're going dancing. We're talking Kizomba. How is the dance popular in Ghana? Are people really into it? And I'm blessed to have the king and queen of Kizomba. So, Ebo Anderson Jr., he is Ghana's king of Kizomba. And then Nana Kwatima, queen. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I must say it's a pleasure to have you here. I have a confession to make. I remember way back in tertiary, I used to come to Afrikiko every Thursday night, 7 p.m. I was never late to come see you guys watch. So for me to have you here, it is a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A lot of people have been saying that you guys are couples. How true is it? King and queen, are you couples?
You should answer that.
No, tell us.
Yes, we are.
You are? Really? Wait, a lot of people thought I was just the dancing and all that, but you're actually...
Yeah, well, we are, but then there are some instructors who are not couples. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be couples before you can dance together.
Wow. You guys look so good, I might tell you. But if someone wants to dance Kizomba, like we've seen people dance, we've seen it on video and all that, how long will it take you to perfect your skills?
Well, it's an individual affair. At least the good thing is that with Kizomba, anybody can dance. Anybody can dance Kizomba. Kizomba is just like art maths. You follow a formula and the formula gets you there. So anybody can dance.
Okay.
But certain people might have more ability to learn faster than the others.
Okay.
But anybody can dance. If the Chinese have learned Kizomba and they are doing it well, then believe you me, anybody can do Kizomba.
Ebo, I'm very interested. The fact that you let me know that you guys are a couple, like how did you do it? Was it through the dance or you knew each other before you decided to, kickstart?
Okay. For me, I've always wanted to start this because I was privy to information long time ago that dancing is the best form of exercise.
Yeah.
De-stress as well and then cardio. So I'd wanted to do this long time ago. So I was really blessed to have met her because when I did meet her, she had certain qualities that really drew me closer to her.
Yeah,
so that is how.
Emphasis on the quality.
Qualities in terms of her legs, how she dances, and of course her passion was super amazing. So she really fits into already planned business. Yes, and of course when two people share something together for a long time, love obviously could grow. So
wow, you guys look good together.
Thank you.
Nana, by your legs, how do you keep in shape? Because you look perfect, like you look good. I've seen you dance, you do it so well. Your body is what everybody be talking about. I must tell you, like everybody got looking. How do you keep in shape? Like how do you do it?
It's mostly through dancing. Before COVID, I was dancing almost every day of the week. So I do dancing a lot, and I also check my diet. But yeah, when I get the opportunity once in a while I like to go to the gym as well. Yeah.
But trust you me, she sometimes eats kinky after 12 after 1 a.m.
Same goes, we eat. Sometimes people wonder, how do you keep your tummy flat? But we do eat.
Well, dancing really stand tall, especially in a case where people are after 40, after 50, you can't exercise like you are 20.
Yeah.
So dancing really
helps.
Is a general exercise that really balances the body very well.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Because you can be dancing for like 5 hours without even noticing that you've been dancing for 5 hours and sweating throughout all 5 hours.
Exactly. So. And then one of our renowned cardiologists is also adding more value. He says that when you move systematically at the same time to a rhythm, okay, it is cardio. The heart responds to rhythm. So when you move systematically at the same time, the same beat, and that is exactly what we do. For example, we have a certain timing. I mean, if the tempo is made, you have to dance consistently to that tempo till the music is over. Yeah, so that is also another value that we should look at. So this whole thing of Kizomba is more of a nationalistic project. You know, the thing is, many people have seen viral videos for after 90 years dancing. Before Corona, our last trip was a tour in Arizona. I mean, some of the clubs, when we got there, you realize that the people who came out to meet us were over 80, over 90. Sometimes, you know, you get a bit disappointed. But then when they start dancing, you see that it's something else. They have a lot of energy.
Wow.
So these are the reasons why we started doing what we're doing. Okay, you realize that Ghana mortality rate keeps dropping. The lifestyle, people are stressed all the time. So this exactly the reasons why we started doing what we're doing. And I might say Ghana alone, we've trained over 1 million people.
Over 1 million?
And, yes, and people have beautiful testimonies to share, you know, in terms of areas of being distressed, areas of not getting good sleep. You know, people come here, and after a while, they will tell you, say, look, when they go home and shower, they sleep like a baby.
Well, we'll come into the benefits of Kizomba because people do think that maybe it's just for the dance and all that. We'll delve into that. But you are the king, you are the queen. How did you accept a king and say, okay, did it start with a business or you started with a love affair and then you grew into business? Because some people do think that, you know, when you're working and you're in a relationship, it can conflict.
Right, yes. No, we didn't start immediately with a relationship.
Okay.
When we first met, we were dancing salsa before. It wasn't Kizomba at first.
Okay.
And then when we danced together and he was trying to teach me Kizomba, actually I learned Kizomba from him.
Oh,
yeah, I brought Kizomba to this country.
Yeah.
Kizomba
you are
is
the
our
king.
baby. Yes.
You are the king.
So when we started dancing, and then he was like, "Oh, there's this other dance I want you to learn." And then when I found out about Kizomba, I got really interested in it. Very interested. And a lot of people can attest to the fact that once you set the Kizomba ball rolling, it becomes an addiction. You know. Yeah. So we started dancing, and then I guess love kind of found its way in there.
That's it.
Yeah, but
beautiful story.
When you dance, when two people are dancing, there is no emotional feeling. There's nothing attached, like unlike what others will think. Because when you're thinking, me being the lead, she being a receiver, we are both thinking every split second what to do. If I want her to go right, is she going right? If I want her to come forward, is she coming forward? The thing is, command is not oral. Okay. Yeah. It's through gestures, adaptation, synchronization.
And all that. Exactly. I got a lot of questions because asking people dance and then the whole thing that they do at the back, I'm like, what's going on?
So the back thing, the down thing is what we call tarashinya.
Ooh.
Okay, so Kizomba is a combination of tango and a bit of zouk and other contemporary, moves.
Okay.
Yeah. So once a person is in motion, unless you don't want to dance, that is when you can really get sensual on the stage. But once you are moving, your mind is thinking every split second what to do. You are even thinking that, hey, people might be watching you, people might be looking at you, so you have to get good.
Yeah.
So with the experience and what others can also attest to it, nobody dances and you have feelings for the other partner. And sometimes when you come here, for example, you see men dancing together, you see ladies dancing together, but it's simply because it's easy for them to do that because there's no feelings attached. In fact, you can't be sensual on the dance floor.
Not even to you as a couple. It has
at all.
Hey, Nana.
At all. Unless, like I said, unless you don't want to dance, you want to stand at one place, then probably. But of course, you want to dance, so not at all.
And
mind you, I dance with others, and she also dance with other people. So
how you manage that, Nana? Oh, he's yours, so you don't really care.
Oh, no, not at all. We are, number one, we are professionals.
Okay.
So we know how to handle it. And number two,
she understands.
There is a lot that comes into kizomba when you're dancing it, because most of the time the man has to be very creative as well as confident, and again he's taking a woman through a storytelling, which is the kizomba dance. So you cannot be multitasking with your mind, you know,
one thing at a time.
Exactly.
Okay.
And once you hold the woman, once you are trying to make her dance, you are thinking about so many things: how not to step on her foot, how to make her feel comfortable whilst dancing. So if you can still think about other things
about that too
whilst dancing,
that's a lot. That's a
Exactly.
That's a lot.
All right.
So we always encourage people to look at the beautiful aspect of kizomba. I mean, kizomba can literally just increase your lifespan, just like that. Just like that.
But I see you look young. You guys are in shape. I'll ask the age later. But
as for the age, I'm not telling.
Let's see how that goes. But when we say kizomba, where did it originate from? What is the origin?
Okay, so kizomba is an Angolan dance. It's in Angola. It's in Africa. So kizomba is coming from Angola. And it's not just kizomba's senior brother. It's called semba. Semba. So semba is, you can simply say, a faster kizomba. It's a semba. So we have Angolan embassy right here in Ghana. And in fact, they are our partners. We don't see much of them because of the coronavirus. But after, they have been our partners. And like we said, in Angola, fathers could dance with their daughters. And then daughters could dance with their fathers. Then the other with their sons could also dance with their mothers, and their mothers could dance with their. So it's a lot of exercise, and it's a de-stressing tool. I mean, number one thing that everybody needs is a de-stressing tool. And when you talk about the de-stressing tools, dancing is number one. It's non-negotiable, followed by swimming. But then the difference between dancing and swimming is so huge. Okay, it's more than, if let's say they put dancing 90%, swimming is like 65.
Oh,
exactly. So we encourage everyone to learn how to dance. And the good thing is with kizomba, you don't need a lot of energy. You need very little or no energy at all. And people sweat. People dance kizomba.
I've seen people
and
like
they sweat like crazy. Exactly.
Oh.
And another thing too that the cardiologist also said was that the kizomba moving to rhythm, that one is not just related to kizomba, but moving to rhythm is also mind training. Okay. You know, as we age, the mind also ages. You know, the mind also ages. So one of the beautiful mind training is moving to rhythm. You see, so which means that kizomba is everything. I mean, exercise, de-stressing too, it's cardio exercise, and it's also a beautiful mind training, because, you know, people who have not even seen kizomba love zouk music, okay, because it sounds good in the mind.
King, the zouk music, is it the song that is played that you dance with us? What is the zouk music?
Okay, kizomba is very similar to zouk music. I mean, the rhythms are the same. But then the good thing about kizomba is that because the rhythm patterns differ, you can dance kizomba to almost every music.
High life.
Even you can dance high life to kizomba music.
Dancer.
You can see that some of our videos we pick either a Ghanaian music or a Nigerian music, and you know, and it was perfect.
Okay. But some people have been confusing kizomba with salsa. Is there a difference?
Big difference. Big difference. In fact, kizomba is no close to salsa. It's a big difference.
And the count is different.
The count meaning the steps that you take.
Yes.
You will take us to like the basic steps, and we will have the honor to see you dance for us.
Then we'll give you a little demo about salsa too. Then you see that they are very different. In fact, people see kizomba for the first time and they call it salsa. It's happened so many times.
For the first time when I saw people dance salsa, I was like, okay, is it the same thing? But then I was told it's different. It's absolutely different. Very different. But then who can dance? You said anybody can dance.
Anybody can dance,
But I've seen you how you move. Like as a lady, your waist has to move and all that. Someone might think, oh, I'm not too flexible. I'm not a good dancer. We all say, I think I'm not a good dancer. So I'm like, how long am I going to keep up with this thing? Can I pick up the steps? You say it's for everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
You want to answer that since you're a lady?
It's one thing about the body movement. Everybody has different body shapes and body types.
Yeah.
How my body is gonna move is gonna portray different to how your body is gonna move, even though we'll be in time and we'll be in sync. So I never tell anybody you have to move just like
how you do
another person, but you move how you feel comfortable moving.
Okay.
Because it can never be the same.
And then yes, the body movement, like I said, is what we call tarashinga.
Tarashinga.
So there is also a very simple rule that you need to follow, and then with constant practice, you can twerk, as some Ghanaians want to. In fact, every lady wants to learn how to twerk.
Yes, please.
And with Kizomba, it's so easy.
Yes, please.
No matter your body size, your body shape, even if you are rigid, as soon as you start Kizomba and you learn the formula, you start twerking. So the skill comes with time.
All right.
Some people, for example, once they learn it, they practice in front of the mirror periodically, and then you see them doing it.
All right.
Exactly.
So Queen, if someone comes to you like, okay, I want to do the training, how long will it take for you to get perfection, to dance like how you do?
Sometimes, well, a lot of the times it depends on the person, because some people can't pick up as fast as others.
Like me.
But I don't know yet.
Queen.
Some people cannot pick up as fast as others, but there are people who can use as minimum as 3 weeks to be able to pick up the basic and be comfortable with the basic and actually be on their way to intermediate. And then there are others too who it can take about 3 months.
3 months.
To be able to,
So do you have class? You have class?
Oh yeah, yes, we do. For example, you can learn online because when the pandemic came, obviously you had to put things online. So we have online class that you can join at any time in your office, in your home. And then Afrikiko. So Afrikiko Thursday is Kizomba section. When you come here, it's free to learn. 7 to 8 is the classes. And then after, you practice everything that you've learned. And then Friday night, Accra City Hotel. Accra City Hotel, Friday night is beautiful.
Definitely, of course. I can't wait to take my Kizomba lessons. I'm eager. I'm just ready to dance. But let's take a quick break and let's move straight to the discovery section with Barbara Etinam Bonnie. We'll be right back.
When you speak, the earth trembles. When you rise, all knees shall bow. When you roar, the mountains melt away. With your blood, we are set free. Oh, when you speak, the earth trembles. And when you rise, all knees shall bow. When I was about 17, 18 to my 20s, that I had a personal encounter with God. Aside from just knowing God from church and all that, I had my personal encounter with God. And that encounter is what made me decide that yes, I know you said I would do it, but now I want to do it. So yes. So my music journey was always me in the background as a band member, soprano, singer, and all of that. I was waiting for God to let me know, because if he chose me and he orchestrated all of this, I needed to be sure that it was the right time, or else I'll get frustrated. And I knew, because I had worked with people at the prime of their careers, so I saw the frustration they had to go through, and I wasn't ready, so I was just going to wait for God. So whilst I was working, I was still, church girl, normal, but in terms of starting the music, we started in 2019. That's when I had the leading in my spirit to start, and then we started. And then obviously I couldn't juggle both, because see, like today, weekday, we're here. If I was in corporate, I'll probably be in the office, so I couldn't juggle both, so I had to drop the corporate.
So what's the feedback from some of your fans? What's the feedback?
Feedback has been great, greater than we actually expected, because I'm new in the system, and but then it's been amazing, and it's good, because it helps me realize that when God calls you and when it's God's time, you don't need to work so hard. God opens the doors. God puts the love in the hearts of the people for you because He's called you for a certain people.
I heard that you've been nominated for Vodafone Ghana Music Award.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I got my very first award nomination, and with VGMA, I'm in the unsung category.
Okay.
So yes, I think the category was about your fans, people that love you, hashtag if they want you to be in the spot. And I'm so grateful and I'm so honored to have been even thought about for my fans hashtagging me, saying, oh, hashtag Quindolin, and we're here. So we'll see. The heaven and the earth bow before you. The nations tremble at your feet. You are the reason why we live. You're the reason why we breathe. Oh, there's no one else like you.
Thanks, Barbara Essinam, for the discovery session. King and Queen, we're still here. But a lot of people might think, okay, I want to dance Kizumba, I want to do this, I want to join the classes. Are there any rules that we have to know?
There aren't really any rules.
Okay.
But
we
always say that the women should put on comfortable shoes, no sandal, no slippers.
Heels.
If you're comfortable in heels, but it has to be kind of official or formal.
How many inches do you have to put?
It depends on you.
Depends on
however
you,
much you can work in it.
And you know, Kizomba is a very responsible dance. And so we want people to be neat. And because it's also closed dance, want you to
smell good too.
Yeah, you have to smell good. You have to take good care of your
the men have to check
yourself.
your armpits and the women have to check their hair.
Because it's true, because it's not, you're so close.
Yeah.
Come on, if you have offensive smell, it's not good. I'm not going to enjoy the dance like that.
And then also, you know, after maybe when you come, obviously there is food and drinks around. So if you have some gum somewhere after food, you know,
yes,
all these are very
we don't want
necessary.
any.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you're thinking of joining the class one of these days, you have to smell good. Don't come with your slippers. That's it. That's it, Queen.
But the exercise bit, like we said, is non-negotiable. It's exactly what everybody needs.
Okay.
Especially after 50, 40, 60, 70, 80. They should come. I mean, Kizumba will give you that stretch. And it's a very healthy dance.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. But Queen, before we went on the break, we were talking about some of the challenges that you see, maybe as a couple dance and all that. What are some of the concerns that people have raised?
A lot of men have issues with letting their wives or their girlfriends dance Kizomba because they think it is too sexual, which is not the case at all. It's the aesthetic that appears sensual, not sexual, sensual. But in the moment when you're dancing, nobody feels sexual or sensual at all because
Queen, you're sure about it.
Oh, yeah.
Men have
People have tried and they went like, oh my God, my blood is already cooled, you know?
A lot of times when people see me dancing, right after they dance, and when I go around trying to get people to get involved, they're always like, oh no, I can't do what you just did, or I can't let my wife do what she just did. And I'm like, what is it about what I just did? And just, oh, your body, the way you're moving your hips. And I'm like, okay, come and dance with me if your wife doesn't mind. And then you're like, oh, take him. And they get there and they cannot
then they realize
move
that
as stiff.
They realize that no, it's a different ballgame altogether.
Okay,
Like I said, because command, okay, a guy will have to learn to take care of himself on the dance floor, movement, thinking, and then will have to take care of the lady.
Which is a lot of work and a lot of art.
And because nothing is orally, it's
no talking, so it's
no
silent.
Talking, so silent. So because of that, I mean, your mind is thinking every split second what to do. So people have tried it and they've given up. So actually, when you go there, you can't even move.
So if you come into Kizomba classes with your sexual desire, put it aside because it's not going to work.
And certain people were trying to sexualize Kizomba, but it's not.
It's not.
It's
so it's just a misconception.
Exactly. Seriously, because like for example, Angola, like I told you, how could mothers dance with their sons then?
It creates a stronger bond
exactly
between friends,
and that's exactly
family.
what we did with certain officers. I mean, there are certain corporate officers, for example, we're giving them Kizomba classes, blow the office alive. I mean, some people thought their management were some devils. You know, so Kizomba, it really bonds people. It bonds people.
We need to invite you to GhanaWeb so you come give us some lessons.
Right.
We need it.
So it really bonds people in a highly positive way.
Okay.
And it's a lot of exercise. A lot of exercise.
So in Ghana, we have Dancehall King. We have High Life Grandpapa. The list goes on and on. Now you are the king of Kizomba.
Yes.
Queen of Kizomba. How did you get that? How did you arrive at that?
One, we brought the dance. I mean, I brought it, but then if I hadn't partnered with her, I wouldn't have. So we had we had our first one with the UNDP. We had a program with them, and they never believed that at the time anybody could dance in Ghana. And obviously, if you watch Ghana, there's still nobody. At the time,
which year was that?
Oh, this was like 2014, 2000.
Yeah.
And then the same 2014 also, we went to Norway. And according to Norway Arts Council, it's the first time they had invited Ghanaians to come and perform Afrobeat. And it was a very big festival.
You guys do it perfectly well.
So really sold Ghana.
You're good at what
we've had, and then we've also had an honorary award from the Angolan government.
Oh.
So that puts so that puts us, not just because we brought it, but then
because
I mean obviously
on paper,
we are,
you are the
number
king
one.
and queen. Sure.
And another thing too is that we've also received some recommendations from certain agencies. I mean, they've seen that we really promote tourism in a very strategic way. I mean, we've been to several countries. In fact, we've toured the world. I mean, Canada, North America, Europe, you know, and everywhere we go to, we take Ghana culture. If you visit our pages, you see that most of the time we wear Ghana t-shirts. So it makes people want to visit Ghana out of that. And the evidence is also shown, for example, tonight. If you visit Afrikiko, you see so many foreigners who touch down. Right from their hotel, they will all be heading to Afrikiko before they access what Ghana has got to offer the next day.
I see you love what you do, but has there been any instance where you perform in the crowd and then you didn't get the reactions you're looking for?
Of course, it is. As humans as we are, I mean, the thing is, sometimes people probably maybe are not even in the mood, they are not watching, so all of it.
But how can you not watch Kizomba?
Yeah, but to some high extent, I mean, we know we are very good, and we even sometimes we promote businesses where other people are not even aware that this is going to happen. Like for example, we have a restaurant called Potbelly.
Yeah.
People have been calling them, they want to see the Kizomba again. It's not like we are teaching or anything, but then we just go to entertain the people and some people go crazy.
All right. Queen, so the instances where maybe you didn't get the reaction, how did you feel?
I mean, it's slightly disappointing, but a lot of the times it's how the MC sets the tone.
Okay.
You know? So this is an art, and every art, I always say, deserves some form of respect. So if you're gonna introduce performance and you don't make the people sit down and actually watch it, and you just introduce it anyhow, everybody else is gonna think, okay, well, I can do whatever.
Hey, Queen, on that note, I hope I did my work when you introduced
and then for me, even my worry is trying to sexualize it. You know, Ghana is a Christian community.
Yeah.
So once you do that, look, we have had performances where just when we want to drive off, you see men running, I want your car, which means they couldn't be bold to take our numbers right after the performance, probably because of what an ignorant MC must have said. The people sexualize the dance. So sometimes when we get opportunities like this, we try to educate people.
Okay, so in Ghana we have the Adowa, we have the Kete, and all the traditional ones. Actually, have we accepted Kizomba?
Yeah, I mean, to some large extent, some people have. And believe you me, I was able to find out that, you know, cha-cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha, cha-cha-cha.
Ghana was a cha-cha-cha country. So Osibisa, you know Osibisa,
I know Osibisa,
and certain live band, Western Diamonds, and you know they all know how to play the song Cha Cha Cha. And even to date, most of the live bands, if you invite them for any outdoor or anything, their first intros are all cha-cha-cha rhythm. So according to our fathers, every night they used to go out to dance cha-cha-cha. When the Queen visited our first president, they danced cha-cha-cha together. So what happened was that the consistent schools that we had, later prevent people to meet after 6 p.m. in groups. So that kept them home. That is how the whole thing was lost. But Ghana was a cha-cha-cha country.
Well, we had it. So
we had it.
It's no like doubt that we have the king and queen and the people are getting more into it. But do we have a community, like a community that we say?
Oh yeah. You know, we are not like a community. Like I told you, we want you to be a nationwide thing.
Okay.
You know?
Queen, let me ask you, is the business lucrative or you just dancing for the fun of it?
Girl.
It is. It is. Where the money reside. Okay.
Yes.
Tell to me.
It is. There are two aspects to the dance. There's the dancing and then there's the business aspect. And thank God he's really good with marketing.
Oh.
So he brought his knowledge on board, and the dancing pays bills. He pays for plane tickets. He pays for my shopping. So I have no complaints.
We're dancing for life.
And if people are watching, in fact, we have had opportunities to teach outside. We've even had opportunity to stay outside. But the opportunity is open to so many people. If we can't stay, others can stay. So if you want to teach outside, for example, there is a Ghanaian who's in Germany who is doing so well. There are many others. Now, the salsa king in Colorado is a Ghanaian.
Wow.
One of the Kizomba kings in Canada is also a Ghanaian. So the thing is, for them, they have huge dance academies everywhere. In fact, every 100 meters they have a lot of dance academies.
Do you think we should have something like that in Ghana? Because I see we have dance classes.
Oh yeah, yes, we will get there. But the thing is, they have the numbers, and it's amazing. The dance, they don't even get enough dance instructors. Wow. So if you can train with us to some level, or you can train elsewhere to some level, that you can actually communicate dancing, because we have dancing language. And there they know better. So, and coming from Africa, you really need to be good. So
I need to take this opportunity. I need to take that. Apart from the whole journalism thing, I need to go international.
And also, if you travel, and obviously you did not school there, you can't get a better job than being a dance instructor. You really get connected. And the networking, believe me, you don't want to
blow your mind.
It's amazing.
So with all this that you're doing, you're training people and all that, when you finally have kids, if you finally have kids, are you going to let them join in and hand over the baton to them?
Well, it's a company. Now Kizomba Ghana is a company. So obviously when we are not there, others will run it after us. Yeah, it's a limited liability company. We pay taxes and everything. So obviously if you're out of the scene, others will take it up.
Okay. But then with this whole COVID era, we are in a COVID season, we're all talking about social distancing and all the things that have. You're saying that when you come dancing, you have to be neat, hygiene on point. But then how do you ensure your safety whilst you're teaching people?
So this is what we have discovered. We try to encourage people to wear their masks still. And now, thank God, there's vaccine, so many people have taken the vaccine. But guess what? All our students all over the world, not even a single one got sick. Why? Because even in the home, when you exercise, the body generates a certain level of heat. So Corona rather, we got more healthy with dancing. You should have said, not even a single day did I get the symptoms, So, like I said, dancing is a lot of exercise. And guess what? Another thing too that we've discovered from doctors is this. When you are stressed, your organs don't work well. When you are stressed, and we get stressed from the office, we get stressed from town, from driving, from situations, from partners, from bad partners.
From work, everywhere.
Kizomba distresses you. So which means Kizomba gets you stronger.
I'm gonna take my lessons seriously because now I got a lot of things on my mind. So I think this is the right way. But do you have couples coming to maybe for a wedding? Like, okay, I'm going to have a wedding.
Yeah, we do everything. Before couples will only do a zone 2, but we can teach you kizomba, we can teach you tango, we can teach you rock and roll. We've done it to certain couples, and even there are some couples who even come from Europe to come and learn their first dance, and sometimes they film it to us, and it was really amazing.
All right.
Yes.
We're almost coming to the end, but one thing, I just can't wait for us to see you dance, so I also take my lesson. But before then, any final words you got?
Oh yeah, so like we said, look at kizomba in a different light. Okay, see kizomba, look at what you can derive from it. I mean, the positive things you can get. Number 1, exercise, a lot of cardio, brain exercise. You know, as you grow, the brain also grows. So there are certain times you might not even be remembering stuff. But if you see those 90 years people and stuff like that, because they've been dancing for 30 years, 25 years, they can remember everything.
All right.
So,
Queen, I know a lot of people might be interested, especially the ladies. How do we get to move our body, stuff like that? What is the secret? Just let us in before we wrap up.
Come and let me teach you.
So yeah, I can't wait to see the king and queen dance whilst I also take my lesson. Yeah, I'm going to take my kizomba lesson very serious. It's been a wonderful time coming your way here on Talkatainment. I am Paulina Deda Opoku. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with the next episode. King, let's go dancing. Okay. According to how your hands move. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 5. Together. Side. Together. Side. Together. Side. Now you are doing this.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the part and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today you deny funny face. It's not my brother. Today you deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Welcome to the Lowdown. This is GhanaWeb's flagship program that digs deep into relevant issues for the hard truth and unveil the facts. My name is Ni Akwe Ismail Akwe. There's a lot of dissatisfaction with the management of the country called Ghana. A lot of demonstrations have been planned, but only a few have been successful in the past 3 years. Our guest for this week is a successful protester, serial activist and detainee, and leader of a group that describes itself as a radical Nkrumahist movement working for economic democracy in Ghana. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Ni Akwe Ismail Akwe. Our guest this week is not a president. He is also not a soldier, but he's the commander-in-chief of the Economic Fighters League, Ernesto Yeboah. Welcome, Ernesto Yeboah, to our studio.
Thank you very much, Neil.
So, how are you doing? Bearing in mind that the past, for about 9 months, we're going to and from the court over the George Floyd vigil you led in June 2020.
Well, Neil, we are still fighting, and I'm sure it is not going to be our last. There are many more arrests that would meet us as we enter the future. And we are not afraid because we've committed ourselves and our lives to something that we believe in. And so we keep fighting.
So did you receive the withdrawal of the case by the state with happiness or was it with disappointment?
Well, I wasn't surprised looking at the way the case was traveling in court. And right from day one, we had said that there was no basis for the arrest in the first place. It was unlawful, it was illegal, it shouldn't have happened. Unfortunately, in this false and rotten republic that we have, even the right to mourn is decided by Akufo-Addo, or who is president. You remember they mourned George Floyd. So what prevented us from mourning as ordinary Ghanaians? You remember the unfortunate incident of the killing of the 90-year-old woman in the Savannah region, Madame Mariama Equiadente. We wanted to organize a similar vigil to make a promise to ourselves as a people that never again should anything of the sort happen. Ghana Police, which was expected to, offer its service as Ghana Police, only turned themselves into a party police, ensuring that that wouldn't also happen. Why? So the question is, if it was Akufo-Addo's mother who were mourning, would Ghana Police have behaved the way they did? So, like I'm saying, it's a rotten system, it's a rotten republic, a false one, and the only duty assigned to us is to fight it until we tear it down.
I have to remind the viewers that the vigil we are talking about was the George Floyd vigil organized in June 2020, and it was in support of the Black Lives Matter. Ernesto was arrested and was detained for some hours, and then after he's been going to court, and the case, the charge was breach of the Public Order Law.
Public Order Act.
Yes. So you've been in protests from July 2019. That was a very big one. That's the Drop the Chamber, hashtag Drop the Chamber protest, which was against the parliamentary chamber, which they debated on getting that built. There was also another one in January 2020 against human rights abuses in Uganda. There was also another one in June 2020, which is the George Floyd vigil. And then we also had your election boycott. That's the Economic Fighters League of the elections, the elections 2020. And so many others that you've been, championing. Do you think it is worth fighting?
Well, certainly it is. And like I have said we have no choice than to fight. If our forefathers like J.B. Dankwa, Kwame Nkrumah, Kesley Hayford, I mean, Mensa Saba and Co. did not fight for us, I'm sure we would still have been wallowing in the pits of colonialism. And so every generation is bestowed with that responsibility to fight what is wrong in their society in order to leave behind a better world than they met it. And that's precisely what we have been doing. I know that personally I am very misunderstood, and misunderstood because it's also the way the media or the agencies of power have tried to describe us or to portray us in the public domain as some people who are just mindless, unreasonable, ranters, rioters, and all of that. I'm very much aware of that characterization that has deliberately been machinated on our personality. But do we stop because of that kind of perception or malignment that the forces of oppression wants to impose on the impressions or on the minds of people? And like I'm saying, we have absolutely no choice. So these consequences are there. We would go to prison, we might get killed, but it has to be done. Somebody has to do it. And that is why we are involved in what we are doing. And I've been working with many young people. Our organization is made up of more than 10,000 young people who are duly registered with us. We engage them, we communicate with them, and they align in almost all facets of the lives of this country. We have some who are police officers, we have some who are army officers, we have some who are students, we have some who are lawyers, we have some. So that's the kind of organization that I belong to. And I have absolutely no doubt that we are far more intelligent than the political leadership that this country has.
Looking at your Facebook page, that's the Economic Fighters League, you describe yourselves as a radical Nkrumahist group or movement that's seeking economic democracy in Ghana. Isn't that the same as the perception that you are talking about right now?
Yeah, but being radical does not mean being violent. I believe in radical politics, the politics of truth. Our society is not used to hearing the truth as it is. We would want to batter it, smother it, temper it, just so that it feels good in the ears of those who are oppressing us. We cut off that foolishness and just say it as it is. That you are fooling, you are stealing. I mean, so when we do this, it does not mean we are some mindless group of people, as I mean they seek to portray us. We simply want the good of society. We want things to happen in the way that they have to happen.
Is that what got you out of the CPP?
The truth about this is that the CPP as we have it is not Kwame Nkrumah's CPP. This CPP was constituted by a body of people who approached the court, and the court said, okay, you can use the name CPP, you can use the color CPP, you can use the cockerel and blah, 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 blah. Take note that this CPP that you are going to constitute is not Kwame Nkrumah's CPP. Kwame Nkrumah's CPP is still proscribed under the 1992 Constitution. Nkrumah himself is a wanted criminal under the 1992 Constitution. And that's where we are. If you take NLC decree, is it NLC decree 23? It says that anybody who receives communication purported to have emanated from Nkrumah, the person is enjoined to report to the nearest police station or military barracks. For what? For Nkrumah's arrest. So this is a truth of the history of our country. But then the false republic has hidden it so well that our society even seems to have forgotten about it and thinks that we are practicing a democracy. It's not a democracy. It's a false, system that has to be torn down with the bare hands of the people if we have to.
So why did you join when you knew all of these things about the CPP?
We joined because there's also the genuine quest where we are searching for real alternatives. Look, I have voted for the MPP before. They came to power. I have voted for the NDC before. They came to power. And in all cases, they messed up. So it's only logical that we tried another alternative. And that alternative at the time was the Convention People's Party, parroting Nkrumah's ideas and all of that. So it gave a certain glimmer of hope that, okay, then this may be the vehicle that may actually bring about the change that our society is looking for. We entered and then we saw that, oh, it's actually a business established by the MPP NDC. And the leadership in there are not interested in bringing the party to power or following any, direct line to bring the party back to power. Anybody who steps in to work genuinely to bring the party back to power becomes the enemy. And that person is fought until the person is flushed out. So this is what it was. Now imagine, this is what happened in 2016. I was a leader of the youth wing of that party. I took the sitting president to Sraj to answer questions on corruption after his collection of the Ford expedition bribe or gift, whatever they want to. But Sraj in the end came up with a report that said that no, the president abused his office, was in conflict of interest. Looking at how they tried to frame it, of course it was an election year and all of that. Imagine that I was a youth wing leader of, let's say, the MPP, which was equally in opposition at the time. And having done this, Baumia, Nanado Dankwe Kufuado, the leadership of the party congregate and say, let us suspend Ernesto Yeboah for taking Mahama to Sraj. It's not normal. But this is precisely what happened in the Convention People's Party. That, hey, why have you taken the sitting president to Sraj? Why do you want to disgrace us? So the whole central committee of the party meets, and then the most brilliant idea that comes to them is, let's suspend this guy, and then subsequently let's flush him out of the party. So I am saying that the CPP as we find it today is as corrupt and rotten as the system, the entire system in Ghana that we are trying to pull down. And this has come to us by practice. We are practitioners of Nkrumah's ideas. That's why recent, commentary from the former president, Kufuor, hasn't attracted our attention. We are not in there to battle. We leave that to parties like the NDC and the CPP that derive their relevance from the superficial defense of Kwame Nkrumah. We practice Nkrumah's ideas.
So is the EFL the new CPP of Kwame Nkrumah? Well, hold your thoughts there. We'll be back after this break, and then we'll also discuss Fix the Country. This is the lowdown. We'll be right back.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
Mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome back to the Lowdown. My name is Ni Akwe Ismail Akwe, and our guest is Ernesto Yeboah. So we're talking about EFL being the new Nkrumah's CPP. Is that the case?
Well, we are guided by Nkrumah's ideology and philosophy of conscientism, if you may, Nkrumahism. But then we are not limited to just Nkrumah's ideas. We are also open to other revolutionary ideas, such as those from Karl Marx, those from Mao Zedong, those from Cabral, those from Sekou Touré, and all of that. And so this is what we are. We are not seeking to replace Kwame Nkrumah's CPP or anything of the sort. We are ready to make our own mistakes through the practice and theory. So we learn and then we practice. Everything that we have done as an organization is born out of the theory. And this is what we have assigned ourselves to do. So our mobilization, our activities are all guided from that, philosophical worldview, if you may.
Red Beret, we have the fists,
Absolutely.
and also fighting for economic democracy.
Yeah.
You look and feel just like the EFF, that's the Economic Freedom Fighters of South Africa. Is that also one of your inspirations?
Anybody who has known Ernesto Yeboah knows that I have always been Ernesto Yeboah. And one may even look at Julius and say he takes inspiration from Nkrumah. And that's where we have all picked our inspiration from Kwame Nkrumah. There might be some similarities, here and there, I don't discount, but then it also shows the nature of our thinking, our worldview, our philosophy. And so you would take Julius on one side and ask a set of questions. You may take any EFL member here in Ghana and ask that same set of questions, and you realize that our answers may align. And so yes, the beret itself is something that is identified worldwide with revolutionaries, revolutionary philosophers, revolutionary practitioners like Ernesto Che Guevara, the likes of Fidel Castro and stuff like that. So yes, we align and identify, and we support them in what they are doing in South Africa, tackling the land question. Because for a very long time, the field leadership, as we have here, in Ghana, have tried to smother the truth and prevent people from being able to state it as it is. But don't forget, people have died, people have been killed, people have lost their livelihoods fighting for the land. And then you, assume power with the ANC, and now you don't want to talk about the land question any longer, because you have found your personal conflict. So what Julius is doing is instigating and mixing and turning the tables to be able to bring out the answers that can lead to the liberation of the people.
Are you also on that same path?
We are on a similar path, and this is where the nuances comes in. Here in Ghana, the question for us is not land. Our forefathers, like the John Mensah Sabes, settled that question a long time ago. Remember when the Europeans tried bringing in the lands bill, where they were going to appropriate our land spaces, that every land space that is not being used, that is unoccupied, belongs to the British colonial government. That's precisely what they were going to do. But it took the likes of John Mensah Sabe and co. to mount a strong challenge through the ARPS and all of that, going to London to debate and fight through that. No, the land cannot come in your name. The land does not belong to you. The land belongs to the people. It is not even a property of the chiefs. The chiefs are simply holding the land in trust for the people. So our forefathers fought to fortify our ownership and control of the land. They did that. Unfortunately, that couldn't happen in South Africa. And that's why South Africa today has a Julius Malema championing the land question.
And we have an Ernesto.
And we have an Ernesto. And that Ernesto is not looking at the land question because our forefathers, resolved that a long time ago.
Okay.
Our devil is the current constitution, the 1992 constitution.
We'll be coming to that soon, but I just want to know, are you a signatory to the Fix the Country petition?
Absolutely. We are conveners to the Fix the Country protest.
Okay.
And so everything that they have done right from day one till now, we have supported it, and we are practically, foot soldiers to ensuring that the vision of fixing this country comes to fruition.
Are you satisfied with the direction it's going and what has been achieved, if there has been any achievement at all till now?
Well, Fix the Country has its structures, and the point is that it's not about me, it's not about Ernesto Yeboah. I am not a liberator. I am simply in to hold hands with the rest of us to fight for what belongs to all of us. We are all liberators. And once we agree that this is the time to liberate ourselves, it happens. So this is where I find myself in Fix the Country. And to be able to lead, one must also learn to follow. One must learn to listen. One must learn to understand people from their point of view and the things that they want to achieve and how they want to achieve those things. So that's how it's been in there. And so far, I think it's been fantastic. Look at the likes of Kali J. These are not your active politicians, or they are everyday people, musicians like, Spooky and the rest. These are everyday people. But then they see that, no, we have a responsibility to direct the course of this nation. Because if we sit aloof, that future that we wish for ourselves and for our children would elude us. We have blatant thieves in power who are dissipating the wealth, stealing as if there is no tomorrow. They have an Esau mentality that let me eat and fill my belly, and the whole world can go to hell because I am full and satisfied in my belly. And so these are ordinary people who, look at the Fiodo, look at the likes of Felicity Nelson. So what is happening is beautiful. For us, it's a learning curve. We are getting to understand and learning more of our people and their thinking and their aspirations and their hopes and their dreams and all of that. So Fix the Country for me, is such a bloodline to the revolution that must happen in this country to bring about the change that we are looking for.
Many followers of the protests are saying Fix the Country is a success online, but it's not successful on the ground. And the calls for or against culture of silence is coming up, and they feel they are being silenced because of all these injunctions from the police and all the other, basically allowing others to do the same thing they are saying the protesters can't do. We've seen funerals of big men like Sir John and all happening, but protesters are being told not to come out to protest. Do you think it is true to say it is a failure on the ground?
That's complete nonsense, and that's for people who are not practitioners and they are just theorists or they are just commentators. But if you would enter 1 second in the boots that Fix the Country wears, I mean, those people won't survive one minute. They won't, because they don't understand the terrain, they don't understand what is happening. What Fix the Country has done so far is to further prove to the whole nation that our system is fake and must fall. At least that awareness has been created. They have shown the hypocrisy of the system. They have shown the falseness of the system. They have shown how the system is not in to work for you and I, but it is in to work for just a few, or a few group of people constituting the political establishment. The fight that Fix the Country is waging is not narrowed just down to Mr. Akufo-Addo and the MPP. No. It is a fight against the political establishment. It is a fight against the rotten system. Look at the minority in parliament and tell me they are not cutting deals. Tell me they are not in cahoots with Mr. Akufo-Addo and the government. Tell me. Tell me. I mean, all those, how do you call it? Those who were nominated for ministers. All of them. All those we are expecting not to go through vetting and have successfully gone through vetting. Tell me there is nothing wrong. When all of us are making the sacrifices, journalists are making, as we speak, I know media houses that have collapsed because of COVID. I know journalists that are on half salary or no salary because of COVID. I know students who have had a cut on their education because, they cannot continue. We are all making sacrifices. Drivers are making sacrifices. Police officers are making sacrifices. When I was arrested the last time, took me to one of the worst police stations, in Accra. And I get there and then the place is, the stench. And then I'm looking at the police officer, the chair, conditions of service and all of that. And I'm like, but these are the people who have been sent. We are fighting for them all. Have been sent to come and arrest us and then put us in. So I started speaking. I spoke to all of them. I made many friends amongst the cellmates and then the police and all of that. The following day when I was marched to the regional commander's office, it's as if, the difference between the regional commander's office and the constable's, desk counterback where I was lodged. It's like heaven and hell. So it cuts across. We have a selfish group of leadership all over. In the army, in the police, in the prisons, in the immigration, at the presidency. Selfish. So you have junior officers suffering, making all the sacrifices, tolerating all the nonsense. And then these few elites at the top are chopping, are enjoying. So this is, practically where, we are. And if one has to, talk about how Fix the Country has been able to draw out these contradictions in society. You have the police officers themselves. We they support you, but you see, But you see order from above, order from above. It has to stop.
Many blame the system. They keep saying system, system. Do you think it's the entire system, or there's a part of the system that's supposed to change?
Of course. I mean, the only part of the system where everything is okay is the top. They want to bath in planes, jets. That's where they want to take their bath. So that's where things are fixed. But tell me which part, apart from there, I mean, which part of the system that doesn't need fixing? Every part of the system needs fixing. And we in the Economic Fighters League, and as upheld by, Fix the Country movement, have identified that we need a new constitution.
Do you think that will change the system?
Well, it would answer some of the fundamental questions. In fact, it would answer a greater portion of the fundamental questions that confront our society. You can't have a bad constitution and expect to have a good society.
Some of the things you are demanding for is the change of the entire 1992 constitution, abolishment of ex gratia, put Ghana in control of its natural resources. Presidents should not be immune to prosecution for criminal activities. Every party should be represented in parliament based on percentage they get in election.
Representation.
Yes, proportional representation. Also, the president should be prevented from appointing the heads of the security services. So, are these the only areas that you think could bring that change you're asking for, or you think it's just
there are many more areas, but sometimes just for the optics and to also be able to communicate in a way that the vast majority of the people can understand, you just do a shoplift. So what we've done is just a shoplift of, things that we wish could be changed or we feel should be changed, that people can rally around. In fact, even Rawlings himself, whom this whole constitution was built to serve, was it in 2018? During his June 4th speech, said that, look, we should abolish the constitution. He said that. He said that. So why are we waiting? Tell me that this constitution hasn't produced a dictator in Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Tell me, what's the difference between the 1992 constitution president and the 1960 constitution president?
So if you say a dictator, what do you mean? He calls the shots because he's president?
Of course. Why are we not able to embark on the demonstration, for instance? Why?
Link it to the president.
Of course. If you read the acts or the provisions, the EI, it's clear. And the reason why the police was able to go to court to secure that injunction in the middle of the night against us was based on the fact that the court is saying, you know what, until Akufo-Addo says you can demonstrate against him, you have no right to demonstrate against him. You see, and the lawyers have a way of saying things that doesn't even make sense to make it look like it's making sense. That's precisely what the court said.
You thought the executive instrument was unnecessary? Bear in mind that there was coronavirus and all of the reasons why.
Coronavirus, we had elections, coronavirus, we did a registration exercise, for a new voters register, coronavirus, we've attended funerals, Rawlings' funeral was held, Sir John's funeral was held. So it looks like corona, becomes deficient in its level of attack the moment it is an activity being, in violation of its protocols by the political establishment. Once it's about them, then corona cannot affect them. So why can't we also be clothed with that immunity? Why can't the people whom they are serving be clothed with that immunity to do what? And if you looked at the demonstration notice, about 20 pages detailing clearly how we're going to observe the COVID protocols and all of that. Sir John's funeral, was anything of that sort even, centered on the table? Never, because Akufo-Addo is involved, because the Chief Justice is involved, because what's his name? The Attorney General is involved, Speaker of Parliament is involved, the big men and the big shots in society are involved. What kind of country is this? So this is what we are talking about. We have to get to the point where there is fairness, there is equality before the law, there is certainty of the law, that when the law says that nobody, it means nobody. It doesn't mean nobody with the exception of the president, nobody with the exception of the big man. So this is for us where this whole thing is leading to. And you see, gradually, and as a social scientist, what I'm seeing is the confidence of the youth or the confidence of the oppressed is being built in I can't get my words, but the system is heading for explosion. It is. Now, even look at beggars in our streets. They are not begging anymore. They are ambushing, they are harassing in order to take their fair share of the cake that motorists, are perceived to have acquired. That's an army, right? Building right before us. And what has created that? It is a false system that the Sakawa 1992 Constitution has created. And with all these things that the police are doing or the political establishment is doing, preventing us, denying us, misapplying the rules and regulations and all of that, it's simply emboldening the people on a daily basis. And the people are beginning to feel that it looks like our only way out is to rebel. At that time, arresting Ernesto Yeboah is useless. Killing Ernesto Yeboah is useless. Because it is no longer an Ernesto Yeboah or Economic Fighters League something or fix the... No. The people are taking the battle on their own terms. Why? Because the establishment is pushing them to that corner where the only reasonable thing that is expected of them is to explode. We are all suffering. The only group of people that are not suffering is a political establishment.
So after this break, we'll talk about how to get fairness, equality, and to prevent the explosion of the masses or even the country. We'll be right back after this break.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome back to the Lowdown. My name is Ni Akwe Ismail Akwe, and our guest is Ernesto Yeboah. So we're talking about how to bring about fairness and equity, also equality, into this country, and how the youth and the people are rising up, and there's a lot of tension in the society. How can we do this, in your perspective?
We need an inclusive society. We need an inclusive system. A system that does not malign, a system that draws in and allows a fair distribution of the wealth and resources of our country to the people. A system that works honestly and genuinely for the people. And it is not difficult to be able to put such, systems in place. Ghanaians are not the worst group of people on earth. I have seen Ghanaians work elsewhere, and they are accorded, or they are seen as excellent workers. They are ethical. In fact, out there, if you say you are Ghanaian, there's a certain level of respect that is accorded you, beyond the fact of, the Nkrumah tag. Because out there, once you say Ghana, the next thing they tell you, oh, Nkrumah, and then they begin to extend courtesies to you. But they also see in the Ghanaian the drive, the ethics to obey and to follow due process and to let things work. So that's the Ghanaian I'm talking about. And I'm saying that you need a system that can create or amplify that Ghanaian in our society. The current system that we have brings out the worst in us. That's why things don't work. You go to the hospital where you are dying and you are crying for help, health help, and somebody wants to take bribe before they look, at you. The police officer is stopping you not because he cares about you. He's stopping you in order to take his share of your stolen money. So things like that. We need a system that corrects or brings out the best in us. And when you come to the political establishment, for instance, currently what we have is the MPP-NDC thing. And it's simply because it doesn't make sense under the current system to vote any party outside the MPP-NDC bracket. Any party that you vote for is a wasted vote, because we haven't been able to aggregate the confidence outside those political parties enough. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't happen, but until it happens, there is that danger and trepidation of a possible explosion, because the current system as we have it excludes, and it has excluded a great majority of our people. Look at the Takwashi Ndum's PPP. It started well, got some 1% at some point, I think, and then they crumpled. Then came GHUM in the last election. Also, they've crumpled. In the next election, they have to go and look for another resources somewhere and then come and attempt another 1%, or they might drop or something like that.
How do you blame the system when the people vote for either NDC or MPP? Isn't that the people's choice?
No, it's not necessarily the people's choice. If you've worked in a poultry farm before, or you've seen how a poultry farmer, sometimes just by the manipulation of light, is able to control the behavioral pattern of the chicks in the coop, you would see how manipulative our system is, and how it's driven the people to those conclusions that let me vote either MPP or NDC. Let's bring about a system such as proportional representation. Under proportional representation electoral system, every vote counts. So people are no longer afraid to vote outside MPP or NDC. They are free now to vote for their PPP, their UFP, their whatever, in the knowledge that whatever percentage that that party secures, it would have representation in parliament. It will have a voice in parliament. So talk about the GHUM, for instance, that's secured, or was it 1% or something like that? So like after the 2020 elections, we would have seen a situation where GHUM occupies 1% of the seats, 275 seats in parliament. Every national issue that comes up, we would hear the GHUM alternative. Those ministerial nominees that Ghanaians didn't. We would hear what GHOM also has to say about them. We would take people like Bernard Mona, very intelligent guy. Atik Mohammed, very intelligent. Kwesi Pratt, very intelligent. Kweku Bako, these are very brilliant people. I mean, there's one knee guy too in the people, very intelligent. But all these guys are on the periphery of our politics. Talk about Bright Simon, all of them on the periphery of our politics. So the system we have doesn't even attract the best to the center in decision making. Imagine Bright Simon in parliament. Imagine, just imagine Kwesi Pratt, imagine Kweku Baku in parliament, being part of the parliamentary conversations, directing how policy, I mean, Ghana would be the better for it. But because we have a system that excludes, a system that creates charlatans, because to survive, you have to be a charlatan. I mean, that's almost the unwritten code. And so many of our good men, many of our resourceful people have fallen by the roadside because they have refused to play ball. So a system like proportional representation can address that.
So that's a how.
That's
solving the issue.
That's a how. Now look at how that system again resolves the issue of women participation in our politics. And it's a very big thing in the political manifestos, I mean, of our parties. Yet that's where it ends, political manifestos of our parties. So you have vibrant groups like Loyal Ladies in the MPP. And the question you keep asking, loyal to what? What are they doing? They are simply cheerleading. The men are taking the decisions. They are the center of decision making at conferences. Where do you find them? You find they are the ones who are doing the serving of the drinks and the foods, and sometimes even in the hotel rooms. That is not the kind of role we expect or we want women to play in our society. If we are talking about a fixed nation. A fixed nation is a nation that has parity, is a nation that has inclusivity, is a nation that draws on. You cannot sideline the vast majority of your people. Women constitute about 51% of the entire population, and yet what percentage do they make in government? What percentage? So proportional representation can address that, where we say that, okay, Goom, of your 1% that you got, 51% or 50% of them must be women. So the party goes into an election. Who wants to become member of parliament? Who wants to speak on behalf of the party in parliament and argue based on our ideology, our vision, our philosophy, and all of that? They vote. It may even have a point where, let's say, a man has clearly won. But to be able to meet that 50% or 51% quota regulation that one needs to be able to, enter parliament, the party would then have to sidestep the man in order to get the woman in. Now look at what that's going to do. Currently, as we speak, the political parties are not investing a kobo in women development or youth development in their parties. They are not taking them to programs or higher education institutes.
I'm sure they'll disagree with you because they have programs in their parties. All of them have programs. And they are beneficiaries.
And what are they doing? I'm talking about what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is that I see women cheerleading. During elections, they get one woman with a big bottles or two of them. They wear the party T-shirt. Their backside is, photographed, and then it's splashed, vote for MPP. Vote for ND. Is this how we want to treat women in the country? But you see, that's what I'm saying, that even this small change in the electoral system will have an effect on how the political, currently, what the gender groups are advocating for is, in terms of working on the gender parity, is affirmative action. What they don't understand is that patriarchy is not a man. Patriarchy is a system. So you may have a woman who advances patriarchy. She's the one that assembles young girls and feeds them to these old greedy fools. And then, I mean, satisfies their ego and stuff like that. And you are saying that these men who are beneficiaries of patriarchy should now be the ones to choose which woman should come and sit behind the decision-making table. What are we doing to ourselves? In the end, yes, you may have some women behind the tables. It is good for the optics. But when it comes to the real decisions that has to be taken in order to open the doors and windows and break the glass ceilings in order for women to enter, you will find that those same women that were, chosen and brought behind the table by patriarchy are the ones preventing it from happening. And then you ask why. Proportional representation takes away that power from patriarchy and hands it over to the people. And the people are now able to decide which woman should go and sit behind the tables of decision making in order to represent all of us and our collective interest.
Indeed, we have to acknowledge that there are so many strong women who have gone through the system and they've been in parliament. We have the likes of Hawa Yakubu and all the other women who have done so well. And I mean, there are currently women in parliament who are fighting for girls and also women, and they are doing well.
It's
we wouldn't say they are pushing the agenda of patriarchy.
It's on the cosmetic level. Look, when Wontumi insulted the running mate of John Mahama in very derogatory terms and all of that, it is funny enough, it is Kweku Bako who cautioned the party that no, discipline this guy, rein him in, advise him, make it public. It is Eslousu who, decried that. Was like, it is, I've forgotten exactly what, but almost in support of Wontumi, in the denigration of another woman. So this is the point I'm making. When it comes to, the crunch, you'll find that they would crumble. Why? Because patriarchy is what invited them behind the tables of decision making. We need to break that. To be able to bring gender parity and inclusivity in our system, we have to aim to break the hand of patriarchy. But if we continue to massage it, and because Akufo-Addo will be angry, because Mahama will be angry, why should Mahama be the one to choose which woman becomes his running mate? But that's precisely what it is. So tokenism is what affirmative action in this category actually serves. So, and we are saying that proportional representation resolves that question.
So I think in all the points you made, proportional representation is key, is king in all of them.
It's key.
But do you see any end in sight to this tension, all these issues that are coming up? Do you see it in sight, or it's going to be even beyond your age?
Well, like I have said, as for the explosion is going to happen, and it is either going to be led or unled. What we are seeking to do is to lead it, so that even when it explodes, we still have a direct, clear roadmap that we are following to be able to get to our destination. Because don't forget, the explosion is not happening for its own sake. It is happening in want. In want of what? In want of a better future, in want of a fairer society, in want of a just. So all of these things. And what a led revolution does is that it lists them. And the reason why some of us don't think that June 4th was a revolution, it was a day of senseless killings, a day of senseless violence unleashed on the people of Ghana. The day when women were dehumanized and debased to that point where, I mean, women were stripped naked. That is not us. That's not our society. That is not the Ghanaian. So that is not what we are looking for.
So clearly the explosion you're talking about is not about killing, it's not about dehumanizing people, attacking people and all of that.
Some killings may happen.
May happen.
Of course. I mean, left to me, it shouldn't happen. It won't happen if it's just me. But it's not me. I don't know how the other person will react. I don't know what the story of the other person is. And I've just pointed a social phenomenon that's happening. The beggars are no longer begging. So this is where we are. And one cannot determine how the other is going to respond or how the other is going to act. That's why we are simply seeking to lead that revolution so that it is tempered, it is directed to that point where we can arrive at that society that we are looking for. Because they are not seeking to inflict violence on another just because they want to see blood. No, they are seeking to inflict violence on another so that they can have their fair share. So they can, exact their pound of flesh. That you have cheated us, you have neglected us, you have stolen from us, and so we are destroying you, our oppressor or our enemy, so that we can now stand before the opportunities that you have prevented us from accessing all this while. That's what the revolution is about. And we are simply seeking to lead it so that we don't arrive at the point where the senseless killing, the senseless blood pour, and debasing is just what becomes of that revolution.
So what kind of Ghana do you want to see?
We want a Ghana that works for all of us. A Ghana that has a police service that is genuinely interested in the welfare of the people. A police service that is not armed because the society is fixed. A leadership that is not stealing from us, a leadership that has a clear plan to protect our future and to protect our present. Look at what is happening to our water bodies. Galamsey all over. The same politicians who are galamseying will come on our national platforms and say, stop galamsey. The hypocrisy of it, we see it. It's happening. They say, we are burning excavator. Do you know how much money they are making in those pits? And then you come and talk about burning one excavator or two excavators. What about their prosecutions? When those Chinese are arrested, what happens to them? They are not even tried and sentenced in the country. They are deported. Is that what would have happened to me if I did galamsey in China or America? Would I just be deported? Oh, go back to your country. So our leaders have clearly taken us for granted. They clearly underestimate our intelligence. And so this for me is where we've got into. And so as they keep doing what they are doing, it's just scientific. Anybody who is a student of history or has read a little bit of history would understand that the society that is suppressed is led to inevitable explosion. And that's precisely what is happening. We can't even cry. You want to cry for George Floyd, Akufo-Addo says, hey. Or the Ghana police says, hey. And you are arrested. And that day it was not just Ghana police. It was Ghana police, national security, and Ghana army. And it was not even just the Ghana police again. It was their counter-terrorism unit unleashed violently on an armless group of people. So if this is how you are treating your citizens want to demonstrate, and then you are saying that, hey, you cannot demonstrate. They go to court to secure an injunction and all of that. Whereas in other places where, they aspire to liberty, you don't even have, you have instances where you can demonstrate without notifying the police. Why do we even have that in the Public Order Act? Why should we necessarily notify the police? Something has happened right now and I want to, express, because it's free expression. I want to express myself. You say, go and notify the police. Why don't you put in place the the criteria that, okay, you may demonstrate without notice, but this is the parameters within which you must operate. So you may not block the roads, you may demonstrate along the pavement, you may walk along, so. I mean, they can give all those modalities. And that's how you build an equitable society. But to suppress the people and suppress them and misapply the rules and, Charlie, what they are calling for is an inevitable explosion.
So are we going to see you in any protests soon?
Oh, as for the protests, we have said it. Whether they like it or not, it will happen.
The Fix the Country protest?
Oh, the Fix the Country protest is what I'm talking about. It will happen. Nobody can stop it. The executive can't stop it. The legislature can't stop it. The judiciary can't stop it. The police can't stop it. The army can't stop it. In fact, all of them combined can't stop it. So we are simply being pushed to that point where that inevitable explosion would occur. And it would not occur because Ernesto Yeboah has instigated it. It would occur because that's simply where they have pushed the whole society to. Everybody is sick and tired. I mean, recently you heard, I mean, you have a situation where teachers cannot even talk about the problems or challenges they are facing in the education system. Why? Media houses, journalists are unable to report on stories that, I mean, needs lights on in order to protect and save the public purse and things like that. We've seen journalists that have been killed. Today, where is Anas? Anas's name has been murdered. Just like that. Why? Because the guy was, I mean, amplifying the light based on corrupt activities in our society. Manasseh Azure had to run away to South Africa, and then he's back. How many journalists will be able to follow, I mean, in that part? So we are seeing it everywhere. The oppressive environment that has been created is clear to all. Imagine that under President Kwame Nkrumah, there was COVID. And then as part of the EI, it says that it is only the president who can renew the protocols and renew, how do you call it, activities that could be undertaken or not undertaken. And one of those activities that cannot be undertaken is demonstration. So until Nkrumah's permission is sought, nobody can demonstrate. How would Akufo-Addo's father have described Kwame Nkrumah? How would Mr. Akufo-Addo describe Kwame Nkrumah? How would, I mean, those who are leading us today have described Kwame Nkrumah? So when it comes to Kwame Nkrumah, we are free to paint him with that brush, dictator. But when it comes to Mr. Akufo-Addo, when it comes to Mr. Mahama, when it comes to Mr. Kufuor, when it comes to Professor Atamels, then oh, they are democratic leaders. You have a dictator constitution in place, and that dictator constitution must be abolished and killed in order to liberate our people.
The dictator constitution must be abolished. Those are the words of Ernesto Yeboah. We've come to the end of the lowdown. Do you have any final words you want to share to the viewers?
I think I'm done.
You think you're done? Ernesto Yeboah is done. This is the lowdown. You can catch us on all of GhanaWeb's digital channels, and you could also watch us every Monday on Facebook, YouTube. My name is Ni Akwe Ismail Akwe. This is the lowdown.
Hello, my name is Kofi Otri Dakwa, and I'm very excited to be part of the GhanaWeb Road Safety Campaign. Once you get behind your steer, you should know that you're not the only one that you're protecting. You're also protecting other people. So please conform to what you see on the road in terms of the speed limits, you know, go by the speed limits. Another thing I'd like to say is that please no matter how small it is in terms of alcohol, once you know you're going to drive, don't drink. So go ahead, do the right thing, save a life.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.